Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. How are all of you on this Saturday afternoon? It's a pleasure to see everybody. I can see all your lovely faces from all around the world. This is our entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we started way back in April of last year. And we've done about 260 episodes of our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we really celebrate so many incredible things about life. And we do it in a fun way with light, love, and levity. Or as we call it here on the Jim Masters Show Live, we call it Lovity. And I think that's really, really cool because that was by mistake. I was saying that the show is light, love, and levity. And then all of a sudden, I slipped up and I said Lovity. And all the viewers who watch our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series said, I love that word, Jim. Keep the word Lovity. So our show is about Lovity, right? We have a good time. It's entertainment. It's information. It's education, bringing people from all around the world together on this unique program. It's sort of old school in terms of the way talk shows used to be, where we're bringing back the lost art of conversation, right? Having some good, deep, wonderful conversations with guests from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, international guests as well. Guests from science, health and wellness, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, authors, you name it. We talk about it here on the show. And we also do a lot of episodes where it's host chat, where I just chat with the viewers from all around the world. We do have an international audience, which is really, really cool. Folks watch from the United States, which is where this show originates from. We originate from the greater New York area, New York City area, between New York and Boston along the southern New England coast. That's where the Jim Masters Show Live originates from and we broadcast from. But we reach all across the United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, Australia, even Iceland. Yeah, we've had viewers from Iceland, South America, Brazil, South Africa, the Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Ireland. It's really, really incredible. So wherever you're watching live or you watch this on demand later on, we welcome you to the show. All of our episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live are available for your binge watching on demand on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. And we welcome everybody watching on our YouTube channel. We invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We would love that. So that way there you can see all the great episodes and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we create and present here on the Jim Masters Show Live. And also some other things we have on the channel, like these really inspirational videos called Masters Mantras that I've been doing for years on Facebook first. And then people wanted me to do them in video form. And we're writing a book on him too. So that's kind of cool. Keep you posted on that. But right now we're on our YouTube channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Jim Masters TV. And I hope to see you there. But welcome everybody. It's good to have you with us. Now we always have a different glass of something to toast our audience, our viewers, our lovely viewers. So here is a mug. This was actually made several years ago by my mother. It's made of ceramic, really nice. It looks like a jean denim pocket with the name Jim on it. It's kind of cool, huh? And inside we just have some nice coffee, possibly an Irish coffee. Really, really nice. We normally do our shows live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We're doing it a little bit earlier today on a Saturday because my dear friend and longtime friend and the multi-talented Irish singer, songwriter, musician, Lynn Hilary is our special guest live from Ireland. Yes, and we're very excited to welcome her here to the show. She's going to perform live as well. We're going to talk about her extraordinary career. Of course, you know her from so many legendary groups, Riverdance, Anuna, as well as Celtic Woman, most notably too. And that's where we initially met, was through Celtic Woman, because as you guys know, I've had affiliation and worked with public television for years, still do. And that's when I first met the ladies from Celtic Woman, and we've all stayed in touch. You've seen Mairead Nesbitt on our show, Chloe Agnew. You've seen most of the guys from Celtic Thunder do episodes of our show. Phil Coulter was on our show. Sir James Galway was on our show. So many great artists as well from Ireland and beyond. So she's joining us in just a second. I want to welcome some of our lovely viewers who are watching as well. Good afternoon, Kathy Short, who's watching from Cleveland, Ohio. Good afternoon, Jim and lovelies from a cold but sunny Cleveland. Good to see you, Kathy. Thanks for joining us on the Jim Masters Show live today. It's nice to see you. Maureen is checking in. Hello, lovelies. And I already told Lynn about the the fact that you guys are going to welcome her as a Lovity. You guys call me Mr. Lovity. You call this Lovity Hall. And this is just a fantastic experience here of Lovity. She's all set. She says, bring it on. I love Lovity. So she's all excited about it. And so are we. So Maureen, it's good to see you. And Craig is watching. Oh, nice. Craig, Ghostwriter 556. We toast and welcome you. Aloha from another part of the United States, a little bit warmer part of the United States. Hello from Hawaii, or aloha from Hawaii. Good to see you, Craig. And Cheryl Fair is watching from Salem, New Hampshire. Welcome from New Hampshire. Absolutely. Really nice. Nan Milligan is here with us. Good to see you once again, Nan. Howdy from San Antonio, Texas. And Ann Wozniak says, hello, Jim and everyone. Happy Saturday afternoon. It's good to see you as well. And we love it. Leslie Cummings, good morning, Jim and everyone. Yeah, it's different times of the day, obviously. It's about a little after 6 o'clock p.m. GMT. So where Lynn is in Ireland, as well as England, Scotland, it is 6 p.m. So that's why we're doing our show earlier, because it's already 6 o'clock where she is in Ireland. It's 1 o'clock here, and 10 a.m. For the folks that are watching on the Pacific time zone. Hi from New Hampshire. Second time watching the show live. I really enjoyed your conversation with Mairead, Chloe, Orla Fallon. That's right. Orla Fallon was here on our show as well. You can see all these episodes in the archives on Jim Masters TV. Been a fan of Celtic Woman since 2005. Original Celtic Woman fan. That's fantastic. Good to see you again. Welcome. And Elena, hello, everybody from Italy. It's nice to see you in Italy, and welcome to the show. And in Iowa, Gary is here. Hi, Jim and all Lovelies. Good to see you as well. And good evening from Norway. It's nice to see you in Norway. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Now we take you a little bit further south to South America, to one of our great Lovely viewers. Carla is watching in Brazil. It's nice to see you, Carla, and welcome. Now we take you across the Atlantic to South Africa, and Juanita, one of our regular Jim Masters Show Lovely viewers, is with us, and her daughter loves the show too, her young daughter. Juanita is watching in South Africa. Hello, Jim and Lovely family. A warm welcome from sunny South Africa. Nan says good afternoon to you as well. Skip Gordon, hello from Alberta, Canada. Nice to see you as well. And Maureen says, I'm excited to have another Irish Lovity and Lovity family. Welcome, Lynn. Nice to see you as well. Llewellyn is here. Good morning, Lovities. Good to see you as well. And aloha means love, which is perfect for our show, Lovity. Elena says, nice one, Jim. Thank you. I love that. I love that. Leslie, that's a nice mug your mom did. Good job. Thank you. My mom is responsible for 2 mugs, this one and this one. My father's also responsible for this mug too. Mom is responsible for that mug. Lots of mugs on the Jim Masters Show Live. We're going to check out some of the rest of the fantastic, incredible comments we have coming in, like Amy saying hello from Northeast Mississippi. Good to see you, Amy. Linda in St. Augustine, Florida. Good afternoon, Mr. Lovity. Good afternoon, Lovities. And Christine Clifton is here in North Carolina. Good afternoon, Jim and Lovity friends. Now Lovity time. Welcome singer-songwriter Lynn Hilary to the show today. It's nice to see all of you here. We're going to welcome her to the show right now. She, again, is a dear friend. We've known each other for quite some time. We have a little clique of friends that we have been able to work with, and not just work with, but just have a lot of Irish crack with Mairead and Chloe and so many of the others we've talked about. But first, let me tell you a little about our extraordinary guest who is live from Ireland. She has toured all around the world as a soloist with Riverdance, Celtic Woman, Anuna for years, and features on many of their studio albums with Celtic Woman. Lynn actually performed for President Barack Obama, President Bill Clinton, also on Dancing with the Stars, as well as performing at Radio City Music Hall many times. She was chosen to perform as the lead vocalist with Riverdance, the opening ceremony of the Special Olympics in Dublin, an 85,000 strong audience alongside U2, Bon Jovi, Nelson Mandela, Muhammad Ali, and many others. She studied classical vocal performance at the Conservatory of Music in Dublin, has always been fascinated by voice and how it functions and the subtleties and different techniques that produce the various vocal styles. I love that too, because I studied voice as well. And obviously as an on-air announcer and a presenter and a host, there's many different things you can do with your voice that can really present a different feeling and a different vibe. She's explored it all. Her unbelievable talent shines through in everything she does. She completed a Bachelor of Music degree, and she set out to explore her musical journey outside classical music. Her solo album, the very first one, Take Me With You, was released on the EMI Manhattan label, and her second album, Saturn Return, showcases Lynn as a pianist, Lynn as a songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, arranger, and producer. And she has a brand new album of sacred songs with pianist Vincent Lynch, an old college friend. And of course, she was part in 2017 of something I had an opportunity to be a part of as well with our dear friend composer Tim Janis, and that's The Way of the Rain. Al Gore was there, Lorena McKinnon was there, Robert Redford was there, so many others. It was really absolutely spectacular. And of course, Sybil Zgars Redford, Robert's wife, was there, and it was a wonderful presentation that she put on with Tim. And it's really extraordinary. She recorded 3 songs for the brand new Riverdance 25th anniversary album released last year as well. And she was also part of Celtic Heart, which was a Tim Janis production that I also had an opportunity to work with the team on as well. So lots to talk about. We're excited to welcome our dear friend, Lynn Hilary, live from Dublin, Ireland. Lynn, how are you? And welcome, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. It's good to see your smiley face. How are you doing today?
Yeah, pretty good.
You hanging in there?
Good day. Hanging in there.
Hey, I want to show you some of the levity coming our way here. Ann Wozniak says, welcome, Lynn, from Jacksonville, Florida, on this wonderful Saturday afternoon made possible by you. And she's got the Irish shamrock. I mentioned this show is all about levity in many respects. Just because I stumble on the word, I accidentally said levity instead of love. And I know we all love levity and levity. Gary's from Iowa, and he says, welcome, Levity Lynn.
Okay.
New nickname, right?
Yeah, I'll take that.
And Tom says, I'm astonished by how lovely her voice is, hauntingly gorgeous. Yeah, she has. Wow. If you have not heard Lynn sing, and I've been in many situations where I've emceed concerts, master of ceremony concerts where Lynn was performing with others and solo, and her voice, it's got an angelic quality to it. It's extraordinary. We're gonna turn you red, make you blush, right?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, it's been so long since I've done anything like this. It's a bit weird to hear all these nice things.
Well, I'm so glad. Everybody I've had coming on the show has been saying the same thing, that they love coming on the show because it makes them feel good. I'm from Ireland. Jim and Lovety's huge fan of Lynn's incredible talent.
I know Derek, that person.
McCarty. You know Derek?
I do know Derek. Yes.
Is he a friend or a fan?
Yes, he's a friend. Yeah.
Nice to see you, Derek. Welcome to the show. Love it. And he's all set. He's just Jim and Lovety's. He's got that Lovety menu. That's awesome. Or that memo, that is. Or I guess there's a menu too, huh? Good afternoon, Lynn. You're a Lovety now. See, it didn't take long. Look, you're a Lovety already.
Oh my God.
As you can tell, folks, we Irish like
love I can't have.
I know it is, my friend, a Lovety wave that comes your way. A Lovety wave. I'll show you some more before we start our chatting, and I'll there's many more coming in, and keep posting, everybody. And again, we would love it if and you suggest that, Lynn, right? Everybody watching should subscribe to the Jim Masters TV YouTube channel, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
I know that you were saying that. Hey, I wanted to, Lynn and I were talking before when we were doing a sound check and getting things set up. And I was telling her that my hair is a lot longer than what it looks like right now. I have it actually pulled back. You can see it's like it's in a ponytail. And I never had a ponytail before, but it's pulled back. And I don't know how, people do it, especially the women when they do it. Mm-hmm. Damn, it hurts. when you're pulling it back and you're pulling it back, and then you try pulling it back, and then pieces start coming out, and they start, and I'm like, you should have heard me in the bathroom probably can't repeat some of the things I was saying.
Oh.
Like, come on, I got 10 minutes. I got to get it. Let's get it in the rubber bands and everything. It was crazy.
And now you know what it's like.
Now I know what it goes. So, and we've had this funny gag on the show where I told him I had a couple of, because you know that I work for folks watching, I work in television and radio and multimedia, and I'm a TV radio personality, presenter, host, journalist, actor, stage MC, writer, producer, voiceover narrator.
Jack of all trades.
Here in the States. And there was a couple of times this year where we had some TV shoots where I had to make it look short and neat. So I didn't think of the ponytail bit because the hair wasn't long enough. Now the hair comes down to like here. And I haven't had it cut since March. Yeah. So now it's like a challenge, Lynn. Now because it's February. It's February. And I'm like, can I get to March? Like now there's like a finish line. I'm like, even the salon called and they said, Jim, are you all right? Do you still love us? I'm like, no, I'm just on this mission now to see how long I can go. If I get at least a full year, because I've never had it this long. I mean, I've had it longer, but not like this. And it's really,
you showed it to me.
So what I do if I have to do it like a TV shoot or something, I'll wear a turtleneck and then I'll take the back part and I'll stuff it into the turtleneck and pull the turtleneck up and it tucks it in. The only trick about that is I cannot turn my head either way when it's in the turtleneck, because if I do, it'll pop out and it'll be revealed on television. So it's crazy. But yes, I was Lynn and I were talking a moment ago about the longer hair, and yes, I understand what you guys go through. So I pulled up. She goes, "Oh my God, I love long hair on guys, and I would love to see it. I love to see it. I love to see it." So let's see if I can bring. There you go. There's when it was.
I just think it's so cool. You look like Johnny Depp, or who do you look like? I just love it. I think you should totally keep it like that.
That was one of the best episodes. That's what it actually, if I let go, if I take the rubber bands out, that's actually what it looks like right now. So you like it, Lynn?
I love it. I would say go longer. I'd say go to your waist. Keep going, see how far you can go.
My God, that must cost $500 to take care of hair like that.
You save a fortune on getting your hair cut.
But that's what it looks like now. So everybody watching, and I do change my hair a lot, but so we're on this mission now to have it longer. So yeah, there's that. I don't know if you can see there's like a ponytail in the back holding it. So
what do they call it? A man. What do they call it? Like when it's a bun, a man bun. You can bend it into a bun, a man bun.
I think that's what they said. Cool. That's what I said. Yeah. And Willie, who's in Willie is she's like, go to the barber. She's,
Full stop.
That's that Dutch. Very direct. Good evening.
I like it.
Nice to see you as well. And Anne says both of your solo albums are absolutely incredible, Lynn. It was great to see you perform for a second time with Celtic Woman when you were with them during the Emerald Tour in 2014 as well. And really, really cool. And Juanita says, LOL, Jim, my grandma could make you a ponytail and you would not be able to blink for the rest of the day. Well, that's the thing. I guess, when you do pull it back.
It's like a facelift. If you pull your hair really tight into a ponytail, you can actually lift your face up. Some women do that as a little trick.
Is that what they do? Is that the trick? Hey, you got a nice tip from the Jim Master Show Live with Lynn right there. ICC International Celtic Choir is with us here. Hi, Lynn. Huge fan of your music. Love from Argentina. Virtual hug. Hey, that's fantastic. Wow. The International Celtic Choir. Hey, ICC. Contact me. I'd love to have you guys come on the show. Love from Argentina. We'll have you as guests. And we have hearing her sing with Celtic Woman twice in New Hampshire.
It's a very Irish name for someone in New Hampshire, isn't it?
How would you pronounce the first name?
Neve. So it's a V. So it's like leave with an N.
Oh, so the H becomes like a V. Then.
The MH would be a V,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a very common name in Ireland. Yeah.
I remember hearing her sing with Celtic Woman twice in New Hampshire. I was telling the audience before when we had, I think it was Phil Coulter or James Galloway on. I'm Irish on my father's mother's side. They came from Ireland. They settled in New York. And for the longest time, my father has always said, when he's saying F-I-L-M, he doesn't say film, he says film.
Oh, film.
So for years when I was a kid, I used to say, Dad, what's film? It's film. And he goes, yeah, film. I'm like, so I'm interviewing on public television. I'm interviewing Ronan Tynan.
Oh,
and he's talking about, paparazzi and cameras and all. And he says, yeah, they use a lot of film. So I'm standing there live on camera and I'm like, oh my God, where have I heard that word before? And some people, they add the extra syllable. I don't know if it's a Northern Ireland thing, or do you say film or film?
Well, I would say, God, I don't know now. You've confused me. Film. Yeah, I suppose I would. Film.
Film.
It's you add an extra little syllable into film. Yeah.
Jennifer is watching in Allentown, Pennsylvania. She says, hey, Lynn, ready for our Irish crack sláinte. And that's something we had to make sure. I forgot who I was on with when we were talking about having a lot of Irish crack. And I had to make sure that we explained, what that meant. I said that the guests and I were doing crack on the show. I mean, we had to explain that. Irish crack, good times, laughs, different spelling. Jennifer says hi. And hi, Lynn. And Anne says hi, and Llewellyn says, welcome, Lynn, love your music. Again, this is all the lovity. Willie says, welcome, Lynn, from Holland. Wow. And of course, there's another welcome from New Hampshire. Gary in Iowa welcomes you. And welcome, Lynn, from Jacksonville, Florida, on the wonderful Saturday. That's wonderful. We love that. And look at all this lovity that's just pouring in here. I love this. This is cool. There's another one coming in.
More theme park in the future. Oh, yes. It's a good question. Lots to talk about, don't we?
Ginger Bain, who goes by Lady Bain, is a wonderful R&B singer from Detroit. And she's absolutely amazing. She's been on our show as a guest twice. She sang for us. She's unbelievably talented. She's saying hello to everybody as well. And Gary's asking if Juanita in South Africa's mother would braid my hair. I don't know. We'll have to check in on that one. Lynn, you have a beautiful, contagious smile and your Irish accent. Very nice. I know. Can you handle all that levity, my friend?
I don't think so. I just want to cover my face. I don't know how I'll get it out of the door.
I was going to say, so how have you been? How have you been through all this craziness of, everything that's been going on in the last year or so? Obviously, there aren't a lot of performances happening, if at all, and people have had to stay, socially distant. And I know Ireland has been on a couple of pretty hefty lockdowns as well. How have you been staying creative and connected and sane through all of this, my friend?
Well, and I always say it kind of suits me because I'm always talking about the introvert side of my personality, because I just find it, I love the study of personalities. I have a group of friends and we're often talking about the Myers-Briggs personality types, and so I think introverts are finding this easier because, I definitely like my own company. I like the quiet. I do
too.
And so breathe, I don't find it as hard. And sometimes there's some days people are saying, oh, isn't this awful? And some days I'll just play along and say, yeah, it's terrible. But actually kind of like in the quiet, I think it's awful what's happening. Obviously, it's a terrible thing that's happening worldwide. But there is something to be said for just taking stock and going into yourself and having to just find ways to spend your day that doesn't involve going out to busy places and shopping and going to restaurants where you actually have to sit in your own company for a while and find ways to fill the day that way. And I've kind of always been okay at that because I've lived alone for long periods of time, and I have to be, not having a 9-to-5 job. I have to learn how to structure my days so that I can, be as productive as possible without a boss shouting at me. It suited me okay, kind of. It's been all right for me.
It's Lynn, you have the voice of an angel. That's beautiful to say as well. Thank you for those comments that are coming in here, and keep posting away, folks. Jamie here actually says, welcome Lynn from St. Augustine, Florida. Hope you are safe and in good health. Welcome Jamie to the Jim Master Show live on our YouTube channel. Good to have you with us and nice to get these welcomes. Yeah, I think there is there's a phrase, is it called an extroverted introvert? So when you need to be extroverted, like when you're on stage or you're amongst people or you're in the studio or doing anything public, you can easily turn it on and do it and nail it. But then you also crave maybe the next day or the day after time to come down from all of that and sort of reflect and have calm and quiet. I like that too. I don't like complete introversion or complete extroversion. I like to be out there and but I don't always have to be out there constantly. It doesn't, it's not what I have to do. I do like the balance of going to the ocean or that quiet time and just staying in your, pajamas and just relaxing. And, it's cool. You actually, I think it's good to have that balance for your, for your health, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, you might also, there's rare types of people who are apparently omniverts, which means they're right in the middle and they have the perfect balance of both. But and some people don't believe in this. I just quite enjoy it. But
I never heard of that, but that sounds accurate because I'm a Libra and Libras are balance and harmony. So I'm always like in the middle. I'm always the guy that doesn't take that side. I like to bring all the sides together. So
then that might be you. That could be you. But also it's good once, and once you know what you are, I just find it a good practice to, once you know where you lack, and I knew I lacked an extroverted side. So then what actually happened was that I became more extroverted because I realized, oh, I'm an introvert, therefore it's okay that I get drained by these social situations. It's okay that I like my own space. And then you forgive yourself a bit more, and then you're actually able to venture out into the extroverted world a bit more. But the thing about introverts is that apparently the definition is you need, when you're drained, you need alone time to recharge.
Yes.
And extroverts might actually like to recharge with loads of people around. They might get energy from that. But the best description I heard about it was that for an introvert, your inner world is more real to you. And for an extrovert, the outer world is more real to you. And I really like that explanation because to me that made such sense, because I don't understand how people don't know. Like I'll often say to people, I wish you can just step inside my mind and have a look around, because I can't even begin to explain to you what it's like in here.
So you feel that your inner world you're more connected with and it's more real for you, and it's a place you actually enjoy being in, right? I know I do with me. I love times when I tend to be reflective. I tend to like to, we've had conversations on this show with a lot of people about, from different fields of endeavor, whether they're a performer or not. And we've talked about how I think sometimes, and this year and everything we've been through has certainly given us the opportunity to do this. Sometimes we're so fast paced and the world spins so fast that we don't get a moment to appreciate what we just did, what we just accomplished, what we just experienced.
Absolutely.
We have to move to that next thing, And I really do like to experience whatever it is, achieve whatever it is, and then take a moment to relish in it and reflect and talk about it. Wow, is that not amazing? Even if we go to the movie theater and we see a movie like Titanic, where it sinks, I'm the one in the car, usually driving, that'll say, let's talk about what we just saw. How did you feel? What was that like? Oh my God, that was usually everybody else in the car is like, the movie's done. Where are we going now?
Well, it's like, you're so right. It's like when someone asked me there recently, and I've heard parents do this with their kids, where at the end of the day, they'll ask them, what are 3 things about today that you really enjoyed or that you're grateful for? What were 3 positive things about today? And I just think that's such a nice practice, because it forces you to stop and go back and practice, gratitude, obviously, but also to actually think about, well, what was nice about today? And make sure you're kind of crystallizing a few of those memories so that you won't forget them as well. Because,
exactly.
And you're so right. People, when do you ever, unless you're meditating, which is just so difficult. When do you actually take stock? You're so right. Like we're not trained to do that. We're just trained to keep going, go,
performers and get out there and right. Yeah. I like to have a breath. I like to breathe, and I like to soak it all in, and and definitely pay homage to, you know, the past, pay homage to the opportunities to enjoy what we just did, you know, what just happened. I think that's really, really important. I think it's really, really cool. Juanita is saying most important to be comfortable in your own skin. I agree. Really, really important. Elena says, during this lockdown period, I discovered your show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. More time to spend at home. We've all been doing that. I mean, I imagine you've probably baked a couple of loaves of bread and cleaned some closets along the way, right? Like everybody else. I mean,
well, I mean, I always like to have a few goals on the go. I learned a few years ago that what saves me from my overactive imagination, and sometimes my brain just can, if I don't have things going on, I can start to overanalyze, and I can go in all sorts of sometimes negative directions. So I found what saves me is to have a few goals. So, and if I can stay 2 or 3 goals ahead of myself, so to never kind of finish something and not have something in the waiting line ready. So I've got, you know, I've always had a few things in the pipeline, and I've got, I mean, I'll never run out of things to do with this practice, because, you know, there's never going to be, I'm never going to run out of songs to record, you know, or people to work with, or, you know, there's always songs to be explored and new things to learn. I've been trying to work on my voice too, and I realized, my God, there's so much I don't know about the voice. So that's what I've been doing as well. Just worlds to discover, you know.
You've been working on the voice and sort of fine tuning it, and we got Cheryl came in here with "I love your voice, I love your part" in Celtic Woman as well. Very nice. She asks, what was your favorite memory from performing with the various groups? That probably would be difficult, right? Because there's so many different memories with each of the groups, huh?
Yeah, gosh, yeah. So many different memories, yeah.
Is there any one ultimate memory from any of the groups that really have stood out? Was going to the White House and being with the presidents of the United States, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. That must have been a monumental situation.
Well, actually, I didn't go to the White House. We did a thing for Bill and Hillary Clinton in New York.
Oh, nice.
And we performed there for them. And Bill was there, Hillary wasn't there. And we literally got a picture with him, and we were like, just let's get the picture. And we got the picture, and then he was gone. So at least we got the picture anyway.
That money shot, yeah.
Yeah, the money shot. So that was cool. I should have sent that to you. Yeah, I've also, and well, I tell you what was cool, and Mairead will tell you the same story, but it's so funny because we did the Christmas tree lighting with the Obamas, and they had this, and we did that, and it was absolutely freezing, but we had a chance to shake his hand. We had a chance to shake, all the family came up the line, and who was there? You know, Sheryl Crow was there. A lot of artists that I wouldn't have known because they'd be very big in the States. Common was one. Ray LaMontagne is another. I hate name dropping, but it just sets the scene. Anyway, he came up the line, and we were all waiting, looking at each other. And of course, I got his hand, and I think Mairead was next to me. And for some reason, whoever was next to her pushed in a little too far, and she's so tiny, you know, Mairead, and she just got lost behind this person, and she put her hand out, and he just didn't see her, and he went right past her. And I looked at her, and I said, right, no. And she was just like this. She was so devastated, but she was laughing at the same time. And she was just, she was so devastated that she missed the chance to shake his hand. But she was laughing so hard. But that was a good night because, you know, it was just cool, and we were all just so buzzed from it. And but the fun times I remember are like, you know, when we'd have a nice night on the bus and just enjoy each other's company, because they're the times that you remember. I just remember Chloe Agnew one of the only people who just has made me laugh so hard that you get pains in right there at the back of your head.
She has
when you laugh so hard, you do these muscles there that get sore, and she would just stand up and talk to us and tell us stories, and we'd just be laughing our eyes out, like. And just they're the times I remember, you know, playing games on the bus, and you know, the times that we could actually all relax and we weren't stressed or tired, or you know, they're the fun times, I think, that I remember. And there's so many of those. But
Chloe's a riot. And when she was on our show, she had a glass of wine.
Oh,
and
I should have thought of that.
The rest was history. Oh my God!
Oh, really? What did she do?
And we did the show. Then we started it at 7 p.m. Eastern here, and it was like starting at midnight for her. And it was almost like an all-nighter. It was so much fun. Oh,
she's brilliant.
The crack,
the best story.
The humor. We got each other's humor and the quick wit. And it was so much fun.
And she's brilliant because her mother is the same. Oh, Mairead's a hoot. But I knew Chloe's mum, who's a big celebrity in Ireland. I'll tell you a quick story about Chloe's mom, will I?
Yeah, absolutely.
She was in a group with my aunt called Maxie, Dick and Twink. And my nana, my mother's mother, used to make some of their costumes for them. So she knew my nana quite well. And when my nana died a few years ago, many years ago now, maybe 17 years ago, Twink is Chloe's mom's name. Twink arrived at the funeral and met us at the hotel afterwards, and we were all so sad. And she arrived in and she started telling stories about my Nana, and she just brought such laughter and just joy to the day, and we were just laughing it was just such a nice because it was a sad day, but I love that about funerals. Like, and my dad always says when he dies, he wants people laughing. He doesn't want people crying. He wants people to wear bright colors and tell funny stories, you know.
A celebration of one's life, right?
Yeah.
The celebration, which is a beautiful thing. That's a great story.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, various stories, how did I mentioned a little bit in, you know, the bio and the introduction there, some of your early background, but what was the inspiration or sources of inspiration for you, Lynn, to want to get into music and performance, family members, others? Because I know, you know, oftentimes, and a lot of the guests who have been from Ireland, who've been on the Jim Master Show Live, have said, well, you know, Jim, I was born in the States here, but we have relatives from Ireland. Like I said, my father's mother's side hail from Ireland. And I've always heard these stories, and some of the artists who've been on from Ireland have said, in Ireland, if you're born in Ireland, they either hand you a flute, a guitar, a fiddle when you're a toddler, and they say, okay, here we go. So were you handed an instrument early, or tell us about your early beginnings and inspirations when you were a child, Lynn?
Well, it would really be my mom. My mom was and is an incredible singer. She's in her 70s now, and she still sings like she's 18 years old. Her vocal cords just have not aged at all. I play songs that she records for people, and their mouths are open. They can't believe that this heavenly voice comes from this woman in her 70s. She sounds like a mixture between Julie Andrews and Karen Carpenter. That's how my mom sounds.
Two of the most incredible voices on earth.
I know.
Along with yours.
Mom. Yeah.
You blend Karen Carpenter with Julie Andrews.
Yeah, that's and you get Mary.
Now, did she have music that's out at all? I would love to hear.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear her voice.
Well, her name's on Spotify, Mary Hazel.
Mary
so
Hazel.
If you look up Mary Hazel, she's got about 5 songs up there, and a beautiful Christmas one in particular that'll just knock your socks off. But she's a few songs up there. She's going to do more. She writes all the time, and it's just great to see her get back into it now. She had a few years of illness and things, so it's so nice for her to get back into it now. And she recently just won a poetry competition as well.
Wow, I didn't. 4 days ago, we just did a whole poetry celebration episode. I should have had your mom on.
I know.
We were celebrating poetry because poetry is very big, and lately, especially since the young lady that did that wonderful poem, the poetry during President Biden's inauguration.
Yeah.
Oh boy, was she really incredible.
Yeah.
So your
Amazing,
mom, a major influence in your life.
But really it was like I always think it's like breathing to me, because it was just always there. She was always singing. We'd just sing around the table. We were just talking about my dad and how much he loved music. He would play. He had such an amazing taste in music. He got us into the Doobie Brothers and Steely Dan and the Carpenters, and we were just listening to Jerry Reed, the guitar man.
Oh, sure.
Dad loves him. So he's just such an eclectic taste in music. So between Dad playing us all these amazing songs, and he'd say, listen to this. And he'd just be, I think everyone has someone who kind of baptizes them to music, don't they? Everyone has a story. Yes. Well, my brother played me this song and then it changed my life. And that was Dad in a way. So between his taste in music and Mom's voice, I learned to love, music, but also just singing along with Mom and kind of copying her voice. In a way, I often forget to be grateful for singing and music, because it is like breathing. And I remember seeing a documentary with Julie Andrews, or it was an interview she did with, I think it was Barbara Walters. And someone said she was in the process of trying to get her voice back after the surgery that went wrong.
Surgery, right.
And she asked her, what will happen if your voice doesn't come back? And she says, I don't want to answer it. But of course, being the interviewer that she is, she pushed it. And she says, but what if it doesn't come back? And Julie Andrews answered, if I can't sing anymore, a part of me will die. And they cut to that line in The Sound of Music at the end of The Hills Are Alive. It's just her singing, and I'll sing once more. And you just cry, because you think, and she never did sing again,
I'm going to cry right now for what you just did.
It did make me realize that I am grateful to have a voice, and I have to remember that. I think a lot when you do it for a living, you do forget to be grateful. And God forbid, if I ever lost it, I just died. Yeah, I would. A big part of me would die, because it's part of your identity. It's so natural. When you have music in your blood, you don't really think about it. You just do it, and there's nothing else I think I could possibly be doing.
So as time was marching on, and when you were a kid, obviously those influences early on were major for you, Lynn. As you were going along in your youth, what were some of those opportunities that came along, and maybe doors that opened for you to explore music and performance even more? And did singing come before playing an instrument, or did playing an instrument come first, or were they together? How did that process work for you early on, and some of those opportunities that really propelled your career forward early on for you?
I think I probably sang first. No, actually, I played piano. And I played piano years before I ever sang a note, because I was so quiet and shy. I barely spoke to anybody, let alone sing a note, So I would do my piano lessons. But to tell you the truth, I didn't particularly enjoy the piano lessons, because I did classical piano. So that was all scales and learning classical pieces, and very regimented and structured. And there was no sort of fun part of that. Later, I learned to, pick out chords and find chords that I liked. And then I enjoyed the piano much more. But the piano came first. And then singing was something that and Mom never pushed it on me. In fact, it was my older sister, Joanne, who was the singer. And so that nobody was looking at me, because she had such a gorgeous voice, and she was winning lots of singing competitions, and she would perform on big stages and things, even as a young girl. So I had this feeling. I remember thinking to myself, I think I can sing, but I don't know. I just remember, and I was so shy. I never even had a chance when everyone would leave the house that I could even try it. But I remember when I got a moment, I would try and do a version of Mom's Ave Maria. And I remember thinking, I think I can sing this. I think that sounds pretty good, but I don't know. And I was way too embarrassed to show anybody. And I remember one day I thought mom was out. And I remember had the confidence then to just go, Ave Maria, like this on my own. And mom burst in and she says, Lynn, what are you doing like this? And I was mortified. I wanted the ground to swallow me up because I didn't want anyone to hear me. I didn't know, could I do it? And she said, that's really good.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could sing. And I said, I didn't know either. But
oh my God.
So then it was just singing at the back of a church, and then singing in the front of a church, and then leading the kids choir in the church. I wasn't very churchy. It's just that's the only place that you could go.
Those were the venues that were available, right?
Yeah, and I had a lovely organist there, Kevin Sheldrick, who was just, again, I think what helps is when you have some nice people to encourage you.
Yes.
Just enough, not too much, just facilitate you and support you. And he was great that way. And he'd push me. He'd say, why don't you go up to the top of the church? And I'd say, oh, no, I'm fine at the back. He'd say, go on, you can do it. And I did. And so, I have him to thank for that. So definitely meeting people along the way who've, helped me and really supported me. And I think that's something that I've always wished I had. Even in the last few years, I've always felt I wished I had the right kind of, business support for my career. And that's probably my one regret, is that I never had that. Because you're in this line of work, you're expected to have all the skills. You're expected to be a good money person. You're expected to be a good manager. You're expected to be a good planner. You're expected to be a good promoter. You're expected to know how to fight your corner to get a fair fee. You're expected to be your own digital designer, your own costume person, your own, recording engineer. Like, I remember with Anúna, me and Alex, we laughed one day. We said, I think we spend 2% of our time actually singing. The rest has been trying to just clean up this mess we've got ourselves in to try and, get some work, and
marketing and promoting and booking and all the things involved that people don't realize is all part of it, because sometimes they just see the performance part, the on stage and everything so beautiful and terrific and almost perfect looking, but all the work that it takes behind the scenes to get it to that
work.
It really is, isn't it?
Unbelievable work.
So so those were some early opportunities that came your way, and then tell us about that first big break with the very first group that you had an opportunity to be a part of, where they really started to pay heed to who you were, your extraordinary voice, your wonderful talent, your personality. Tell us about that experience when that first happened.
Oh, well, I would say maybe Riverdance then would have been the first. And I had done 4 years doing classical singing in college. And during that time, I was, singing classical music, but to be honest, not really feeling at home there, because I knew classical singing wasn't really my thing. I knew I wanted to do other kinds of music, but it was the only way to get it. My mom wanted me to get a degree, and I didn't want to let her down. So I was like, oh, well, I'll do it then. And you're raised to feel you need to have a degree in something. So I said, I'll do music. And then I saw an audition for Riverdance and went for it. And I had already had the great experience of singing with Anuna, the choir, which I loved. So I knew what they were looking for. So I did have an advantage because I knew exactly what they were looking for that audition. And I went in and I did it, and I got a call back, and then got another call back. And then I remember meeting Bill Whelan for my last audition and just being so starstruck, and he was great. And I just got a call, and they said that this was for the Special Olympics, and they said, we'd like you to do it. I couldn't believe it. So that was really nice, because that was my first proper job out of college, was Riverdance. So that was nice to feel like that someone appreciated.
Could you imagine that? Yeah. So Anuna came first, for people that are watching. You were in that choir first. And what was that like too? Oh,
that was absolutely brilliant. Like Anuna, that's me with Anuna. I loved Anuna, and I would, to this day, Anuna would be in my top 5 favorite musical acts of all time. I just think, and some of those early albums, Behind the Closed Eye and Sinner and Ominous, I just listen to them some days, and I'm never as moved by anything. Like they're so, I love chords anyway. That's why I love bands like Steely Dan and the Carpenters. Anything that's chordally interesting. I love that. And that's why I loved Anuna, because the chords he would use, and like Joni Mitchell said in her documentary, she said she would find these chords that sound and feel like her feelings. And when I hear Anuna and the Carpenters, the chords make me feel things. It's the bed of sound is the chordal structure. And that's what makes me, it just transports me. And that's, it's things like that made me want to do music at all. I was a fan of Anuna. Went to see them in the concert hall. My mum brought me, and we bought the CDs. And I literally, it's funny. Here's another funny story that Michael McGlynn knows. I used to look at the booklets of the Anuna CDs and read the liner notes, sing the song, sing the lyrics, sing along. And one day, years later, I became a member of Anuna, and he decided to do a quiz and give everyone a sheet of paper and see who knows Anuna the best. And out of everyone, including Michael himself and his twin brother John and his wife Lucy, I won by a mile. And he's like, "How do you know so much about Anuna?" I said, "Because I was a fan. I was a crazy fan. I would literally listen. Like, I remember I loved this song that Maeve Nuelka has sang called Blackthorn. And I used to listen to this one line, and even there's a part in a song and you're saying to your friends, "Listen to this part." And I used to play this part which she sing, "Close within me lies the sweetest berry," and how she sang it. I just used to listen to it over and over on a loop. I just used to listen on a loop because how she placed her voice was just so so stunning.
So that really moved you. Yeah. It's beautiful comments coming in. Oh dear. Oh, hi everyone. Nice to see you, Kathleen. Oh dear, Lynn, I find your voice just so exquisite. Such a blessing to hear you sing. Huge hug and all my best wishes. Take care. Love, Gabri. We love that. And Isigari is saying she loves your voice as well. She's watching in Barcelona, Spain. She's one of our regular viewers in Spain. Kathleen Walker in New York City is welcoming you as well. She's asking, what was it like recording the album's Evermore theme park with Anúna?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the most enjoyable times in the last few years, because Anúna, like, we worked so hard, myself and Alex, but it just didn't happen for us. It's one of those times where we just unfortunately, we had to let it go because, that happens. You work so hard on something and the universe just doesn't give you opportunities, and you just have to admit defeat, and that's okay too. But it was fun when we recorded those albums, because my favorite, I would say more than the stage, I love the recording studio. So that's my happy place.
It's the studio.
I love the recording studio, and we would sit for hours with Chuck Myers and Jason Tonioli and this amazing engineer Jake Bowen, and we would just have this little family. We'd go to his studio, and it was right up in the mountains of in Utah, near where the Snowbird ski resort is. So it was right near there. And some days we'd go in and there was this much snow, like, well, this much, I can't see it in the camera. And we just,
show us how much again?
This much, but times 17.
And that's a lot.
And we would, some days we'd work into the night. And I mean, the girls used to be so tired, and they'd say, "Can we please go home?" And I'd be the one going, "Let's do one more song," because in the recording studio, it's one of those times I don't get tired. I could literally stay there all night long, just working away. I just love the recording studio. I love the energy, and especially when you're working with such amazingly talented people. And Jake was this incredible engineer. He was just so patient and such a lovely guy. And Chuck was such a genius. Chuck Myers, he worked with. He did a lot of computer game music, which is huge.
The video games and all. The music, the background music is incredible.
So he did a lot of really famous games, even stuff that like some of those, I can't remember, of course I'm blanking on them now, but he's done a lot of those. So he had a really fun studio. And yeah, it was like just going to play when I go to that studio, you know. So it was really fun. Yeah. And I don't know what's happening with that theme park, but all it matters is we had fun recording it. So.
You had fun. And sometimes it's the experience that really it even takes precedence over the result. Sometimes the experience itself, right? And
that's all you have. I mean, what else do you have except the experience you had when you did something? You can't take anything else with you, really. So yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Got a couple of cool photos here we want to sprinkle in. And those just joining us, I'm Jim Masters, your host. This is the Jim Masters Show Live, entertainment lifestyle talk show series. My very special guest, dear friend, Irish singer, songwriter, musician, and educator too, teacher, the wonderful Lynn Hilary, live from Dublin, Ireland. Beautiful shot here. Tell us about this one.
Oh yeah, that was actually taken in France by a really lovely friend of mine and his wife, Jamel and Christelle O'Tui. And he's a concert promoter and a musician himself and an artist. And he hired me to do some gigs over in France. And he's brilliant because with everyone he works with, he'll give you plenty of material that you can take home. So he'll take photos, and his wife is a brilliant photographer as well, and they'll take promo shots for you and videos. So I just couldn't be more grateful to them because and he'll often we have this lovely relationship where we'll exchange skills because you know he knows that at the moment as well. Sometimes I can't. Money can hold you back so much when you're trying to record music, and at one point I didn't even really I couldn't budget for mastering a song, and so I learned to do it myself. And he said, I'll do it for you. And so he would master tracks for me, and then I'd say, well, let me do something for you. So I would sing some vocals for him, and it was a lovely little trade bartering thing we had. Which in hard times it's a way that you can keep you can keep making your music and keep doing things and have a nice exchange with people when you can't afford to get them done professionally, because it is expensive to record music. It's it can be. It can be.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot. You really captured something wonderful there. Here's another one. We showed this earlier. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Again, sometimes photographers would just appear. I didn't know he was there. Tim Tronco. And he took a lot of great shots for us. He was particularly good. I remember I think we all got some good shots off that, and he would kindly let me use it, and I just credit him. And that was a lovely dress made by Simon O'Mahony.
And where were you? What was happening?
Oh God, I could not tell you where I was there. I could have been anywhere.
Eventually, all the sets and stages look familiar, right?
Yeah. I know, and the hair is always the same as well. I don't know where I would have been, but that would have been the Emerald Tour, I suppose.
With Celtic Woman,
Celtic Woman. Sorry, yes, Celtic Woman. Yeah.
Celtic Woman. What was that experience like for you, having this opportunity to join Celtic Woman? Obviously, it's brought a lot of additional notoriety and travel, and there's all the different things when you were a part of that group, which people still find surprising, was really only going to be a one night only situation in Ireland. It was supposed to be a one night only concert, David Downs, the whole group. And it just turned into this monster, internationally beloved group, Celtic Woman. When you came into it, was that like an amazing experience for you? How did that all work? Was it Sharon that noticed you, or who noticed you and then brought you right in?
Thank you. Someone just brought me some wine.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
Now that Chloe's allowed drink, maybe so am I.
I like that. The way she says, someone just brought me some wine. Someone just came in my house and brought me wine. One of my loving neighbors.
I have a wine butler.
You have a wine butler.
I know. I can't afford to record music, but I can afford a wine butler.
You have a / wonderful production assistant, right? Well, since you've got your beautiful wine, let's toast.
Oh, let's toast. Okay. Cheers. So great to talk to you again.
You as well, my friend. You as well. So Yeah.
So yes, no, yeah,
Nice and tasty.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. It's a little warm, but okay. He needs some teaching.
Well, don't lose that assistant yet you have. That's a good one that brings you wine. Absolutely.
I know.
Plugs in the cords. Make sure the mic is working.
I know. God, I could do with that. A roadie would be great, wouldn't it?
So here comes Celtic Woman and that experience. Tell us about that. When you first did they find you? You find them? How did it all work?
Well, that was actually through David Downs.
David Downs, yeah.
Yeah, David Downs was the musical director of Celtic Woman, and I worked with him in Riverdance. It was my first show in Riverdance, and I worked in the Gaiety Theatre in Dublin. That was my very first job, and he was the MD. He was the piano player and musical director on that show, and we got to talking one day, and I remember he gave me a nice compliment because David Downs is so amazingly talented, so he doesn't compliment very easily. But what he said to me, and he put his glasses up to his eyes, and he says, "You know, Lynn, you're very consistent," he said. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to take that as a compliment." I later realized it was a great compliment from David Downs. He's very consistent, you know. And I which was amazed me because I always felt like I was just clawing on to. Every time a show went well, I would just go, "Phew, that was another lucky break." But he had then created Celtic Woman maybe a year or two after that, and then Maeve, one of the original girls, Maeve Nuelka, she left the group, and they were looking for someone to fill her place. So he asked me. Maybe he asked other people first, but eventually got to me. And I had known about the show. I'd gone to see them in the Point in Dublin, a big theatre there. And I mean, look, I was just absolute. Of course, I was honoured. I mean, you know, to get a job as a singer, you even just that, you're so lucky. And I had no idea how lucky I was. I just, of course, I agreed to it. But yeah, just so lucky to be asked.
And with a group that was already sort of, you know, they were already established, and you know, they already had this wonderful following in various parts of the world, and especially in the United States. They really, the United States, definitely through, of course, their work on public television, but they exposed them. It just really became extraordinary. And did it ever, I guess it probably exceeded your expectations of all of it. You're probably like, wow, this is really amazing. Because, you know, like with any group, there's a lot of work behind the scenes, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of touring, a lot of meets and greets, a lot of performances, and that's a lot of work, right?
Absolutely, yeah, it really is. And we had, I think, at the height of the show when I joined, they were on a particular high. They were doing massive venues, and I think they had several trucks. I think they had maybe 4 or 5 tour buses when I joined. They really were doing really well. It was really overwhelming. I remember my first show, I had to sing Danny Boy on my own, and I know it seems like such a simple song to sing, but I just remember looking out and thinking, I have no idea what I'm getting myself in for, and I was so nervous. But eventually you do get used to it, and you know, it's amazing to think you get used to something like that, to singing in front of so many people. But I remember the biggest gig we did, I think there was about 10,000 people there that night. It was somewhere like Oklahoma, I think. And I just remember thinking, this is amazing, you know. But I never really thought about it that much. I never really thought. I think if I had thought about it too much, I would have been terrified. So I'm sort of glad I didn't really overanalyze it too much.
Right. You didn't super focus on it. You just focused on the task at hand, which was the performance and pleasing the audience and all that came with that. That run with, again, Celtic Woman, you know, extraordinary. And what did you learn about yourself, about entertainment, about performing, about maybe the business side, all the different sides of it, being in such, you know, a renowned group as Celtic Woman?
Oh God. I mean, I would even say that being in Celtic Woman has completely formed how I am as any kind of performance skills I have now, which aren't that many, I got from Celtic Woman, because I didn't have any training in performance. All I had was a bit of training in singing. So I didn't know, for example, I didn't know how to use my arms. I didn't know what to do with my hands on the stage. I just put them by my side, and then you watch, I remember when Alex Sharp came in, and she was from musical theatre, and all of a sudden she was using her hands to sing with, and we had all just had our hands by our sides. We were just singing and standing still. And when she came in, she was using her hands and her body, and all of a sudden then we started doing it as well. And it felt good. It felt weird to me, but actually you realize when you can use your body in the performance as well, you can actually get into it.
Yeah.
And it was so uncomfortable for me, because I was really, it's taken me years, I'm still working on it, to shed all that shyness that I had as a child. And so when I first went out on stage, I was literally terrified, and I barely smiled, I barely even opened my eyes. If I could just stand and close my eyes and do this, I would, if it was up to me. Yeah. But I had people say to me nicely, Lynn, you have to get out of your shell. You have to give a bit more. You have to perform. And in a way, it's not what I didn't know how to do it. It's not what I signed up for. I had no skills. All I had was a voice, and I had no skills in performance. So I really had to learn as I went. I had nobody to show me what to do. I just watched the other girls, and I just did what they did. And it felt weird, because some days, you have to put on a big smile and you don't feel like it. But that's what I learned. It's not about you. When you're performing for an audience who's paid good money to see you, you have to give them what they want. And I learned that. And I hate to give out about a very well-known Irish performer, but I'm going to. I went to see Van Morrison and with my dad. And I just remember thinking, he doesn't want to entertain this crowd. He's not happy on stage. He doesn't want to play the songs they want to hear. He doesn't want to engage with the audience. He might as well be performing in his front room, and I remember thinking, I don't want to be like that. And it was a good lesson, because I remember my dad was so disappointed, and I wanted Dad to enjoy it. And I remember thinking, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get how lucky he is. He's no gratefulness for the position he's in. And I just thought, that's not cool. If you are on stage and people are paying money to see you, do your job. Give the people what they want. If they want to see you smile and you don't feel like smiling, just smile. Get over yourself.
Right. Because people are there because they want to be happy, and they want to, feel good, and exactly. And that's sometimes, you can easily forget that, and you can tell when a performer. I've even worked with a few where they really aren't doing it for the right reasons, or they just they don't care about the audience, people who are there rooting for them and supporting them and believing in them. And I know you appreciate it. I do too. I've always appreciated viewers and listeners and audience, because there's so much more that they wrap up into a performance or whatever it may be than just the mechanics that they're seeing on stage. They wrap up a lot of themselves and their memories and their emotions in the things that all of us do. When they feel connected to somebody like me, feels connected to somebody like you, there's a lot of other elements that go into that emotionally for the viewer, listener, the audience member, the purchaser of the music, that sometimes some people forget that it isn't just the gig or just the show, that the people that come back again and again and again are really investing as much as we invest in everything we do to present what we present. They're investing so much in the time that they're giving to allow us to sort of allow them to escape from the craziness of life. And sometimes people forget that, right?
Absolutely. Well, you're still just, we're a product. We're giving someone a product or a service that they're choosing to consume. It's like if they're not doing us a favor, they're hopefully getting something out of it.
Exactly.
yeah, I was trying to think of another example of that, but yeah, I guess it's just a matter of reminding yourself, why you're doing it, and hopefully, I remember what I was going to say. I was recently started listening to the Carpenters again.
Oh yeah.
I think they'll always be one of my favorite bands, and her voice, my favorite voice. But I remember when I was driving along and I used to listen to the Carpenters. I've always been a fan, and I remember feeling like if I ever met them, which obviously that'll never happen because Karen Carpenter is long gone, but I just would want to say thank you to the Carpenters, because even the way Richard Carpenter arranged some of these incredible, and I want to thank them for going to the trouble of giving me this amazing thing that I can enjoy. And I think some people make music now, and I do think they forget that you're actually giving them, and you're giving them that extra 10%, and then try and giving them another 10% on top of that. I don't do this. I aspire to do this, but I think that people should remember that. And I think people, it's like they think it's all about them, but it's not. It's like, what are you giving? What are you giving that's of value?
Right. We're all supposed to benefit and enjoy. It's supposed to be a circle of love or whatever it may be. And like you say, the Carpenters, it's interesting. I wonder if you also maybe identify a little bit with Karen, because she had a shyness about her too in the beginning. If you ever see her stories, movies, autobiographies, she at first didn't want to be out front. She was the drummer. She was a phenomenal drummer, and she really wanted to stay in the back and have Richard and just others out there, and maybe she would sing, but we was singing while doing the drums, which she did multiple times. But then over time she got comfortable enough, and she just developed her incredible talent further, and she was out front with Richard. And maybe a similarity you identify with somebody who preferred over here, but now it's thrust out front, and was able to master that,
Well, was she though, because look what happened to her,
Worried about, her weight, her weight, how she looked, and she was beautiful inside and out, right?
She was.
That is one of the downsides to all of these positions in the public eye, is the demands that the public can place on people that are unrealistic. They almost sometimes they don't allow them to be human, or
that you think the public are putting on you.
You self-impose, right? Have you ever gotten into that trap? Have you ever found yourself doing that?
I don't think I could do it. To be honest, I don't think I would be able to last 5 seconds doing that. And I see people, and I see it on Instagram, and a lot of people putting on this very, very affected.
Perfect.
I kind of think,
they're not real.
They're like
manic.
Who are you doing it for? They want to know you.
Right. That perfect shot, that perfect pose. That's so photoshopped and so filtered and so not real.
It's a pity, because these people have such amazing personalities and such amazing music to share. And sometimes you kind of think, well, I don't know. I hope that social media is growing, and eventually people start being a little more real and more authentic. Evolved. Because there's a price to pay with not being authentic, and it's affecting children and young people who are thinking they have to be perfect, or they have to be this and that, and I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me, and I just know when I see certain things, I just wince, and I think, oh God, it's I don't know. I hope. I think social media is a brilliant tool, and I use it. I hide if I see something that makes me feel bad or upsets me. I just hide them. I don't necessarily have to unfollow someone if I don't want. If I want to give them support, but sometimes I'll have to just hide things because it just makes me feel weird to see certain posts that I feel are affected or not enriching my life. They're not offering me anything that I actually want to see. You have so little time in your day. you want to really pick the things that are important to you to put in your day. And I don't need to see, a person, on Facebook, say a friend I met in, college who I never spoke to, and I don't need to know what she's doing all day long with her kids. I don't need that information in my life. So I hide these people, because you know what I mean? Like, why would I?
She's not interested in your pictures when you went to Tahiti, so don't send them to her.
No, it's great. It's like, but it is. It's like if she's mailing me her pictures of her personal life, and it's like, I know some people are interested, and I'm glad that these people are happy. But I think people need to just be a bit more cutthroat about how they tailor your social media to suit yourself, so that it makes you happy.
Some people pour out way too much, and it's like they're crying out for sympathy or something. I don't know what it is, but I've even seen it as well, where there's things that people post that I would never post. I would never, I mean, real intimate details about their family or about other things, or a picture of them, on a hospital bed on an IV or something, and those photos go out to the world, and they're out there forever. Or even of an infant or something. When that infant gets older, is that infant gonna want their picture out there?
It's a little scary, isn't it? Just to think.
It's a little different. It's a little different than having the old photo album on the coffee table. Like
totally.
Used to exist, right?
I know, absolutely. It's scary, It's a scary kind of world. So
it really is, and I hopefully it will evolve, like you're saying, and mature. Speaking of that, I love this shot. Tell us about this one.
Oh, that was in Utah in Chuck's studio, and I think Chuck himself took that. And we were setting up a shot. We were recording with Anúna for just a little fun video we were making for, I think it might have been a song called Remember Me, from the movie Coco, which we loved. And Jason Tonioli did a lovely piano arrangement of it. And we just set up a shot one day and put some candles around. And I think he was just checking the light in that photo. And it was just one of those. Yeah, no, I want to say I didn't know the camera was there, but I did.
That is funny.
I think that's my Twitter picture, actually. I think.
Yeah, that's a really.
It feels weird. It feels weird to put up photos where again, lots of makeup, and here's me talking about not being false, but I guess you have to put your best foot forward as well. So it's all navigating these things, doing what you're comfortable with, and finding the middle ground with some measures.
It is, isn't it? And right, and that's exactly. I think that's exactly part of the entire process. You learn about these different things about yourself as you go along. You're also, and we're going to have you perform live, and there's all these wonderful things we're going to do, but you're also a teacher and educator as well. And I know when you and I were chatting, when I interviewed you for the PBS special Celtic Heart, when we were all up in Maine, you were talking about that. You love inspiring young minds and inspiring others as well, right, Lynn?
Sure. If anyone would listen to me.
The key is getting them to listen, right?
I know. I was a teacher. I've been a teacher all throughout the years, on and off. So definitely. It's nice. It's very rewarding work being a teacher, but it's also really draining. I did it for about a year and a half. A few years ago, I actually started in a music school in Dublin, just for some extra money, and I needed something else to do. I needed to change a scene. I needed to take a different direction from singing as well. It was a bit stagnant. So and I did it, and it was lovely, and it was in a beautiful place. It was a really nice place. It was called Walton School of Music in Dublin, and just the people there were so laid back and so nice, and everyone was just happy there. So it was just a nice place to work. And what the best thing about it was that, well, to turn it back to in a selfish way, I learned a lot about the voice just from teaching other people. And I think that's the best way to learn anything, is to teach other people. But it's amazing just how many people would come in to me and say things like, oh, by the way, I'm terrible, I can't sing, I'm awful, just so you know, I'm terrible, I can't sing. And, you know, and it's just amazing how insecure people are about their voice, you know, and how it really brings out a big vulnerability in people when they would be expected to sing, you know.
Isn't that amazing? Yes, a lot of times people they shoot themselves down before
yes.
you know, they give themselves an opportunity to really express themselves through their beautiful work. So you sort of lift them up. You give them an opportunity to I guess really, you know, feel much better or more confident about themselves, because that's really important, right? Confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I would always say to students, you know, please be willing to make an awful sound, you know, because that's part of the singing process. If you're not willing to make some crazy sounds in the process of learning what your voice can do, you won't really get anywhere. So that can really unlock a door for people where it's like, oh, I'm allowed to make a bad sound. You know, in learning to sing, you're gonna croak, you're gonna reach awful notes, they're gonna sound so silly. But if you can be okay with that, then people can relax and go, oh, I'm allowed to make mistakes, I'm allowed to sound silly. I remember a lovely older man come to me, and he said to me that he was in one of these Christian Brothers schools where they were quite let's just say they were very tough on these young guys. And he said in choir practice, they would separate the boys into two groups of singers. One were the larks and the other were the crows. And he says, I was put in the crows. So basically they were labeled before they'd even grown up as bad singers, you know. And I just thought, isn't that awful? And he was a brilliant singer. He was a gorgeous singer. It's like he just got put in that group. Maybe he was too shy to sing, and the teacher just put him in there, the nun or whatever. And so he carried this all throughout his life, that he was a crow, that he sang like a crow. You know, it just goes to show how impressionable young minds are. And you know, and he really did have just this most gorgeous voice. He really had a natural talent. So it's such a shame.
Well, speaking of a gorgeous voice, and again, you're going to perform live for us as well. We have some more cool things to show. We have a clip here of you doing Ave Maria, which is unbelievable. And I encourage folks to just sit back and relax and enjoy this. Really, really something special. And you're with Andrew Dempsey, right?
Yes, Andrew Dempsey. Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant musician.
Where was this this clip we have? Where was the location where this was performed?
Yeah, that was in the cathedral in Rochetaille in Saint-Étienne in France.
Very nice.
I think it's near, oh my God, I want to say, oh God, I'm going to get it wrong. But anyway, Saint-Étienne in France, in the cathedral there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Here's Ave Maria, as we share some of the exquisite voice and talent of our dear friend Lynn Hilary. Have some of the wine in between. Get a refill if you need it, and we will. Don't tempt me. Call the assistant. Call that assistant. Here is Ave Maria with our wonderful friend Lynn Hilary, and then we'll be back. She's going to perform live, and we have lots more to chat with Lynn about. So enjoy, and we'll be back.
Maria.
Really, really beautiful, my friend. And look at some of the lovely comments coming in. Maureen says, oh, wow, simply beautiful, an angelic voice singing a song that makes my eyes leak. Anne Marie says, your version of Ave Maria is absolutely incredible, Lynn, absolutely beautiful. And Arthur Pennington says, I'm getting misty again. And Carla says, pure heaven. She's watching from Brazil. Jennifer Barry says, good magical Lynn, salute and slancha. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio says that was beautiful. Leslie Cummings says beautiful. Linda Odell in St. Augustine, Florida says, wow. Anne Marie, your version of Ave Maria is absolutely incredible. Lynn, absolutely beautiful. Ann Wozniak says, we're gonna
I
need,
know
you're gonna
I'm
need
gonna need it.
Kleenex
Yeah.
tissues, right? So
I need to get through the door as well.
singing Ave Maria can do it, and then all the levity on the show. So beautiful and emotional from Anne. Peter Kim watching on YouTube. Wonderful Lynn. Juanita in South Africa. Most beautiful. Cheryl Fair says, you come across as real and true to yourself. I highly respect that. That's a beautiful comment. Absolutely gorgeous as well. And Isigari loving Ave Maria as she's watching in Barcelona, Spain. Really, really beautiful. Again, like I've said it before, you have a stunning voice, and you sing, you know what it is? It's so soulful and so heartfelt. You almost can get like the essence of who Lynn is, and you almost reveal that. You almost open up to the world who you are inside through your music, right?
I don't know. Well, I definitely think that it's hard to sing and it not be a window to whatever your authentic self is. Yeah. So, and I definitely know in times in my life where I've, had some sort of down times. I remember not really singing, and I remember I was offered a gig with Riverdance, and I was particularly I was having a kind of hard time, and I remember I couldn't sing. I couldn't sing for, I'd say, maybe 6 months or so. The thought of it made me so nervous. And I remember they offered me a gig. I remember it was Michelle Obama was visiting Ireland, and Riverdance were doing a gig for her, just her and her group. And I remember getting the call, and they said, would you do the gig? And I remember just saying, nope, I can't do it. Sorry. I knew I couldn't do it. It was only a Riverdance gig, I could have easily done it, but I just remember thinking, no, I can't sing at the moment.
Was it a physical? Was fear constricting the vocal cords, you think?
I think it was more, I was just so nervous in my life. It was just, I felt so edgy on all the time. I just couldn't. I knew Riverdance was a particularly difficult thing to sing because I don't think I could sing Riverdance now, because it's really for a very, very young vocal cords, almost a boy soprano. So once I hit 30, I found it so difficult to sing because I knew my high notes weren't quite as pingy as they used to be. And so I'd say if I ever got asked to do a Riverdance gig now, I'd probably have to say no anyway. But I did sing it after that time. But I just remember, so to answer your question, I think that, singing, you can't but reveal yourself, really. And that's the beauty of it. That's why, the great singers like Karen Carpenter and all, there really are, she'd so much pain in her life, but she really just poured it all into her singing. So
now you did participate in the 25th anniversary of Riverdance, right? You were able to be a part of that through some material, some songs.
Yes, so they were recording. Yeah, that was great. I was delighted to be asked to do that. I got a call from Bill, and he was recording a CD for the 25th anniversary, and he said, "Would you do 3 of the songs?" And of course, I was delighted, just delighted. And one song I'd never sung, which was taken out of the show when I was in it, called "Home in the Heartland," and a song I always loved. So I was delighted to get to sing that when they put it back in the show. So that was brilliant. Just again, great to be in the studio with Bill and his son and his son Brian, who's now a brilliant recording engineer and brilliant musician, and just great. Again, like I say, just being in the studio with talented people is the happiest place in the world for me, you know.
And speaking of talented people, I was mentioning to you who's going to be our guest actually a week from today is another dear friend of ours, Brian Dunphy.
Yes.
He's going to be live from Ireland. He's going to perform, and of course, people know him. And I initially met him and Darren Holden, and we've all stayed in touch with the High Kings. And Nathan Carter was also on, actually, just a couple of weeks ago. We had Nathan Carter on, and he did a song with the High Kings as well. And Nathan was great as well. But you have a friendship with Brian that goes back to Riverdance, right?
Yes,
Tell us
we are.
about that. There you are,
yes.
Brian Dunphy and Lynn Hilary in Riverdance. Yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so that was my first job out of college. And there was a duet in the show called Lift the Wings. And Brian was my duet partner. And just being so nervous and scared. And I think I mentioned to you earlier, he just took me under his wing, but in such a great way. Like, you're going to enjoy him so much, because it wasn't like he was, you know, saying there. He would just look at me and I'd say, I'm so nervous. And he'd just say, oh, shut up. Would you shut up? You know,
just do it. Let's
just say it like that. You're fine. Would you shut up? You know, and he's just such a funny guy. And I just love working with him, and I love his voice. And I actually asked him to sing. There was only one person who sang with me on my album. No, that's not fair. My mom and my sister sang on it as well. But I had I wrote a duet. And I thought, the only person I want to sing it with me is Brian. And he came along, and he wouldn't take any money for it.
No.
He came along and he sang, it's called The Long Way Home. Let's Take the Long Way Home. It's on my Saturn Return album. And he just sang it. And we just had a brilliant day. He made us laugh, me and Brian in the studio, Brian Masterson. And yeah, he came along and sang it. So God, any chance I get to sing with him, I would take it, because, you know, you don't really get to collaborate much. But I was asked to sing at a funeral recently, and they asked for a song called If I Could Choose. And that is a song that his father, the wonderful Sean Dunphy, made famous in the Eurovision Song Contest. And so just to hear Sean's voice, and then his son Brian, and just to hear how he takes after his dad, he's just got the most beautiful voice.
Isn't that incredible? So his dad obviously was, and we'll talk about that with him next week, an inspiration for him as your mother for you, which is really beautiful when it gets passed down in the way that it does, my friend. We have some more photos and things, but did you want to share a tune with us that you have there with your?
Oh God, I might as well get it over with, because I'm not sure how my voice is going to be now, but. Oh, okay. I'll get it over with.
You sound amazing.
I don't know. I'll try and play it. Oh my God. Well, I might mess it up though. Is that okay?
That's fine. We're live,
friends, aren't we?
That's fine. They know what you can do. Tell us about the beautiful guitar you have there. It's a nice, gorgeous guitar.
Oh yeah, this is actually a lovely guitar. It was given to me years ago. Well, by an ex-boyfriend, actually. And it's just nice. I've had so much work done to it. I've had bits fitted to it. I've had a lovely pickup inserted into it, and I've had the action reduced, and so it's set to my preference. But yeah, it just sounds nice, really. I don't know much about guitars, to be honest.
You had mentioned that your first entree into instruments was early on a piano. When did the guitar become part of your life?
Oh yeah, well, the guitar really was just something to facilitate singing, and I always had this idea in my head that I might one day join a band or be a folk singer and go and join the folk festivals. And so I like the idea. It's sort of a romantic idea I had of going off like Joni Mitchell and going and touring and singing at some folk festivals, just me and the guitar and
And the guitar and
no, we got nothing else, just me and the guitar, and
hitting the road
the
and
shirt on my back,
Well, we've been talking about it with some of the guests that we've had on from Ireland, how big and this wonderful relationship that Ireland has to folk music and to country music as well. Have you dabbled in those areas yourself?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I'm not very good at knowing styles really, but I guess I definitely like folk music. And yeah, I mean, obviously I love Joni Mitchell. She'd be probably folk. And there's a singer I love called Beth Nielsen Chapman.
Oh, sure. She's amazing, isn't she?
She's amazing. I mean, I remember just taking a road trip one day and I had like 5 of her CDs and I would just play them on loop. And she really her words are just so meaningful and just beautiful melodies, beautiful chords, beautiful lyrics. I actually met her once at a concert. I went up to her and I just said, I just love you. And I went to see her in Dublin and she's just brilliant. So I like that idea, just the kind of the authenticity of what you'd call folk music, I suppose, just people and, just playing and singing from the heart. So yeah, it's a nice idea that you can, it's just really to facilitate. I'm no good. Like I've never learned how to play it. So I was laughing about how there's been so many times I've just abandoned the guitar, started playing. And then, I remember playing at a friend's singer-songwriter night and I just said halfway through the song, I'm just going to put this down because I can't play it. I realized I hadn't practiced enough. So I had to stop. So the same might happen tonight.
What are you going to play for us now from your wonderful repertoire?
Well, I was going to... I'll try this song I love. It's called Follow the Heron Home. I'll try it.
Beautiful, yeah. You'll be just fine. Just like somebody said it. What did... greetings from Bavaria as well. We welcome you, fellow, watching on our YouTube channel. Anybody watching on the Jim Masters TV YouTube channel, we would love it if you subscribe to the channel because we do these shows every single day live, which is amazing. Over 260 episodes of this series, the Jim Masters Show Live. Linda goes, she's in Florida. It's the Lovity Show. Just be yourself. We love your voice. All the love coming your way, right? All right.
Okay, well, I'll give it a go. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
I'm sure, yeah.
So.
Wonderful. Lynn Hilary. There she is.
Here we go. The back of the winter is broken and light lingers long by the door, and the seeds of the summer have spoken in gowns that bloom by the shore. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. In darkness we cradled our sorrow and stoked all our fires with fear. Now these bones that lie empty and hollow are ready for the gladness to cheer. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. So long may you sing of the salmon and the snow-scented sounds of your home. while the north wind delivers its sermon of ice and salt water and stone. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away, and we'll follow the heron home.
Are you kidding? You knocked that out of the park. That was spectacular. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, my friend. Really. Like I say, you could sing the phone book and it'll sound magical. Let's look at some of the wonderful levity coming in. Bravo, Lynn. Thanks. Fantastic music. Voice, Angelica. That's Isigari, who is watching in Brazil. And look, we have here Linda says, Lynn, your voice is so naturally beautiful. It absolutely is, everybody. If you ever get a chance to see her in performance when she is, check it out, or just go online and get her material. You'll love it. Whether it's with some of the groups she's been with or her solo material, it is worth it. It will really fill your heart. And I got a chance, to experience it many times through these groups and relationships with the groups, but really even deeply when she was on stage in York, Maine, and we were filming Celtic Heart, the PBS special, about a year ago, and it was really something else. And Tim Janis, our dear friend, as you guys know, we've talked about Tim on the show, brilliant composer and pianist and more. And I've worked with him on many different projects, one of which is emceeing his concerts at Carnegie Hall every year, the American Christmas Carol. And then got a chance to work in production with him and emceeing and everything for that brilliant concert that was filmed in Maine and in Ireland and was presented on public television. And Lynn was spectacular in that as well, her voice. And just in rehearsals, as a matter of fact, we have some of that behind the scenes stuff. Here's in rehearsals. You can see Lynn right there on the monitor, and you see the harp twins, and you see Níl McGoon, who was with us as well, the wonderful Irish flautist. She was a guest. The harp twins as well were with us, and Mairead Nesbitt, of course, and it was just really Emma and Chessa, everybody, and of course Tim on the piano. That was really a cool project to be a part of. There you are again as well with the ladies, and you can see some of the behind the scenes, the camera people, and that was quite a production. And you got to go, and it was a little nippy, a little chilly.
Yes, it was.
And I was blessed to be MC and then helped him with some of the behind the scenes production, and then also host the national PBS public television pledge breaks. There you are with Tim in the distance, sort of there you are singing and performing. That was a very enjoyable experience being a part of Celtic Heart, wasn't it? That special.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We really did enjoy. I had such a ball, and I think it really was telling. Remember the night when it finished, we all went out for just a drink, and I think we had nibbles.
And
but remember,
I have proof of that. Yes. There we are.
Yes.
You and Mir and our wonderful friend Elizabeth.
But what a lovely group of people, and the twins are just so fun.
Twins,
Do you remember we were looking, because we just, all of us, there was so much love in the room. We were all enjoying each other so much that we were dying for somewhere to to keep having, not that we wanted to keep drinking, we just wanted to keep hanging out, but there was nowhere to go.
I forgot that part, right? Because this place, the food was closing, and then we were searching.
Kicked us out at about 11, and we stayed there for like 2 more hours just in the lobby. Just nowhere to go, but we didn't want to leave each other, so we just stayed there for another 2 hours.
It was a levity fest, and there was there's like 15 other people with us. They're all scattered, and they're sitting on couches, and there are other areas, and we were with everybody. So this is when we were having the cocktails, but then there was some food, and then, like you said, it closed. So I'm on the left, and Amir, and then you're there, and between Amir and Lynn. And that was wonderful. But that was just about a year ago when that was actually filmed. And there we are actually on set. And then did that beautiful shot on set. There's me and you. And then we did.
I must get these off you.
That was a really, that was a great experience. And we thoroughly loved it. And there's with the whole gang.
Oh my God. It was such a great group. But Elizabeth and Tim, they do manage to get that spirit into everything they do. That's why it's so nice to work with them, because they're so kind and gentle and just so nice. There's no two nicer people in the world than Tim and Elizabeth. So wherever they are, they're such a great team. It creates a calm working environment. And just when the working environment is nice, it's just so much more enjoyable, isn't it?
Exactly. And I'm on the left, and Mira's there. And can you name everybody that's there from what you say?
So. Yeah, it's Emer, Ella Roberts.
That's right.
There's me, and I can tell the difference now as well between the twins. So the one on the left is Kennerly. Yeah, I think I know the difference, and it took me a while with Tim and then Camille on the right. Mind you, they do look quite similar. No, I think that's one of the few where they actually do look quite similar, because I can really tell the difference now. I think Kennerly's on the right and Camille's on the left, and Mairead, and then Julia and Chessa. Is that right? I think I've got everyone there.
Yes, yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. And I mean, tell us a little bit behind the scenes for the audience that doesn't know. It was a little chilly, wasn't it, too? Because you guys were performing outside, and Omenade and Lynn were out on the rocks. I mean, this was in like April, March in Maine.
And I was getting over a terrible chest infection.
That's right. That's right.
Steroids.
I forgot. Yes, I forgot about that. That's right.
And my voice came back just in time, because I remember twice in my life having to go on steroids for a chest infection, and it's amazing. They work really well. But there was a doctor there, and he said, "Don't get used to them, because they really make you feel superhuman, don't they?" So I think I even went for a run, and I was like, God, this is so easy. And I remember him saying, don't, Joey, it was actually, and he said, don't, this is why you shouldn't take steroids, because they make you feel superhuman. Then when they wear off, we feel back to normal again. So I think that's, I felt great. I was medicated. But it was very cold. Yeah. But everyone put on a brave face, and they did what they could to make us feel warm, but there's nothing you can do. You have to wear a shoulder dress.
Right.
In the winter.
Exactly. The outfits themselves are beautiful, but they can be chilly when it's brisk Maine. The northern part of New England. Here's another cool shot with the whole gang there on stage. I believe this was once everything was produced. It was a several day project too, of filming. And here's when I think this is when I was interviewing you in the theater for the PBS pledge breaks for Celtic Heart. Yeah. And we had a lot of time, a lot of laughs there too, and it was just really
there too, don't we?
Didn't we? Really, I tell you, we really.
We always do that, don't we, Jim?
Yes, it's something where kindred spirits in so many different ways, not just the Irish, but
it's like the twins. They said they get up and they just know what to wear. They dress the same every day. They still do it. Apparently, they just kind of know. I'd almost believe it. They're so genuine.
And that's without them even, and there you are in the upper left, and there's Mairead and Emer, and there's the harp twins in the upper right too, and Tim, of course, on the piano. And that was just a wonderful project to be a part of. And there you guys are on stage doing your thing. You see Mira with the flute and the harp twins, and you, Mairead Nesbitt, of course. And that was the first time I realized, and we chatted about it, where Mairead sometimes performs barefoot, which is I'm like, my God, after this you need a foot massage. You got to go and make sure you get a foot massage, take care of those feet. She's a bundle of energy too, our wonderful friend Mairead, isn't she? Just a great spirit, a lovely person.
Amazing.
Yeah,
she's great. Yeah,
Carla goes,
I've been lucky to I've been lucky to work with Mairead, outside of Celtic Woman as well, which is always nice because you get to see other sides of people. And Mairead is probably one of the smartest people. And I remember we did an interview in New York with Celtic Woman. And I think Mairead was tired that day, but the interviewer was quite rude, I remember. And I remember Mairead saying to us, she gave us a look to kind of say, I'll handle this one, right? Kind of a wink.
Yeah.
And she just floored this woman. She just, with her wit, with her intelligence, talked rings around this woman because she's really smart, Mairead. She'd have you believe she's just this fairy, la la la. But she can outwit anyone. She's one of the best conversationalists I've ever spoken with. She can outwit anybody. She's super smart.
Absolutely.
I do love her. Yeah.
And, it was very funny. I don't know if she told you, I think it was it Carnegie Hall? Maybe The Way of the Rain, possibly, or one of his concerts, but I had missed my train going back north. And so we're like, what do we do? What do we do? So
a week later, you and Mairead still partying, wasn't it?
You heard the story?
Tiffany
Moore was with us because I think they were staying together, and there was somebody else that just said, come back to our place. So I did, and we just had a cocktail and lots of laughs and telling stories.
Yeah, right, Jim.
And some snacks or whatever, and it was just thrown together, and it was Tiffany, Mairead, me, and I don't think there was anybody else there, but it was just really cool, and we were having so much fun, and we were laughing, and
she's great fun, isn't she?
We were
just the best fun.
Absolutely. And we always like when we're together, the rapport we have is so wonderful. But they were so gracious. Say, Jim, there's nowhere you can go in Manhattan right now, so just come to our place, and then we'll hang out until you can get back on the train, when the trains start operating again. And that's what we did. And it was just amazing. It's a very memorable evening. And
that was funny.
I
don't doubt it.
Juanita says you have an amazing voice. Lynn, your voice is so naturally beautiful. And Peter says, Lynn, you sing the song just right. It's hard to imagine it sung any other way with the same feeling. That's from Peter Kim watching on our YouTube channel. Mindy Sandler, good to see you, Mindy. She was one of our lovely viewers last night, enjoying the show. Lynn, your voice is brilliantly beautiful. I love that. And I love this. Oh, that's great too.
Look. Yes, this actually is really fun. The Carnew version of Rocky Road to Dublin. It is really cool. People should go listen to that. We did a few fun. That whole album. We actually made an album with Carnew. It's really good. It's a really good album. And
tell us about Carnew for folks who are watching in other areas who aren't familiar with them.
Well, it's not really happening anymore, unfortunately. We sort of had to just let it go.
You mentioned that earlier,
which was sad, but we learned a lot from it, so it definitely wasn't a waste. But we put a lot of work into it, and we had a great time. We did some brilliant projects, so we got so much out of it. We worked with the guys in the States, Jason and Chuck, and had a ball over there, and got some lovely albums out of it, and just had some great times, and even meeting Ken at Evermore Park, and it was really fun. And me and Alex had decided we'd try and get a group together just to try and get a bit of work, really, along the lines of the Irish trio, and maybe maybe bring it into the corporate group. But like I said, what I realized in that project is I can't do it all. I just don't have the skills to do the business side of things and the creative side of things. First of all, there's not enough time, but I'm never going to do it as well as someone who does that for a living, a simple thing, like if I have to negotiate a fee for myself, that could wipe me out emotionally for 2 days. Do you know what I mean? Like if I have to try and, I think I'm worth this, that could destroy me.
You're just like me when I do projects, if it's freelance too, and they say, okay, what's your rate? What do you charge? What do you want? So I'm like, I mean, where do we begin? How do you even?
I know, it's so hard. It's so hard. Because you could pick something way too high or way too low, Really, that's the problem because there is no set fee for what we do. Sometimes, there's someone who will ask me to do something and I'll say, no. If it's a friend, I'll say, no, I'm going to do this for free. And they're throwing money at me and I'll think, no, I'm not taking it. And then the opposite, someone will ask you to, the great thing, you hear this a lot is, well, it's a great experience for you, so you should do it for this or for nothing,
For nothing.
as if you need any more experience,
Right.
So, as if they're doing you a favor,
Exactly. Do you have another song that you wanted to share with the audience while you're there? That was beautiful. Your voice sounded spectacular. Really,
thank you.
Really sounded great.
Maybe I'll finish on one more. Me and a friend are releasing some hymns. I wonder, should I sing one of the hymns that we're going to release?
Oh, hymns. Beautiful.
Yeah, we're releasing hymns just because me and this guy, we play a lot at weddings and funerals now. And he's just such a beautiful piano player. And one of the people who hire us, she came up to us and she said, you guys should record an album. So we said, okay.
What is his name?
Vincent Lynch.
Very nice.
And he'd be very well known in Ireland. He's worked with all the orchestras and he just can do everything really. But I just love the way he plays, and we worked with each other for years. So it was great. Like, we did it remotely. He recorded in his studio, I recorded in mine. So we only really met one of the days to mix and edit everything. So
that's fantastic. How'd you guys meet? How were you brought together?
Oh, well, we actually met in college, and then and then when I would always sing at funerals whenever I'm home from Celtic Woman. In the last few years, especially, that's sort of my livelihood right now, especially in the pandemic. Is singing at funerals and masses and things. So
how do you do it without becoming emotional yourself in a way? Or I would imagine it does affect you, even if you don't know the person that passed and you're brought in. You just you can feel it, right? You
can, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't really affect me anymore because you're doing a nice thing, and the families they're really appreciative, and a lot of them will say the music really helps them to grieve, and it's nice to have music at a funeral, so you feel like you're doing a nice thing. It's a really nice way to give back. And then but at the same time, every now and again one will just hit me, and it could be something about the person or something about the family, and I will get emotional. And
could even remind you of a family member of your own or something.
Absolutely. So
the beautiful
are very sad.
Right. The beauty of the relationship they had with that person. And absolutely. So one of the hymns you think might be something you'd like to share with us?
I like this one. Yeah, I like this one. I won't play guitar, you'll be happy to know. But I love this song because I just love the words. It's called it's called Come With Me Into the Fields. And I think Mum showed me this song. And I like the meaning of it because it's about the harvest time and the whole metaphor of we all need to work together to bring in a harvest, even if you weren't the one who sowed the seeds, And I just love that metaphor, and I just love the idea of it.
That's so important now too, with everything we've been going through in the last year with the economy, the pandemic, and everything else. It really is important that we all come together and that we unify, because the world, we talk about it a lot on the show, but the world operates much more smoothly when people are unified and we're creative and collaborative together. And we might not always, agree on everything, but if we listen instead of always speak, and we allow others to speak and come to the table, we can really create some beautiful things. I've been saying multiple times on this show, I'm hoping that out of everything we've experienced, the pandemic, the economy, the here in the States, the civil unrest, the political craziness, all of it everywhere, that we rise out of all of this more empathetic, more loving, more caring, kinder, and in a way that is more unifying, less divisive, violence, hatred, all of the stuff we've seen. And I also said, I think that what happened in the springtime of last year was 3 energies came together: the divine, Mother Nature, and planet Earth. And they said, all right, knock it off, everybody. Stop the nonsense. So we're going to throw a pandemic at you. We're going to shut the economy. We're going to do lockdowns, and we're going to do civil unrest and political craziness all at the same time. And we're going to do it in 2020 at the beginning of a new decade, usually when it's hopeful. Because everything the way it was going before, the violence, the hatred, the yelling, fighting, and all the serious stuff that we saw going on, the divisiveness and everything among people wasn't working. So I think the divine, the earth, and Mother Nature came together and said, we're in control, stop. And now see how you as humans pull out of this. Are you going to be worse for it? Or are you going to be better for it? And we have seen the worst of the worst, but we've also seen some really beautiful things come out of this as well. So I'm hoping that we rise out of this, out of these ashes, again, more empathetic, unified, loving, and compassionate, because the world spins on its axis a lot more smoothly and beautifully when we operate that way, right, Lynn?
Absolutely. And like you don't, people, it is a small world in a way, and you realize, even to the point where if you do a nice thing, people will like you more. If you do an underhanded thing, people know, and they won't want to be your friend.
Won't want to be there, right?
Be nice. You'll have more friends that way. And you think you're getting away with it. People think, oh, I'll just do this, or I'll just be sneaky in this business way, or I'll elbow someone out. But people know, like, you can't hide that kind of thing. They think they're getting away with things like that, but there's nothing to be gained from that. But losing a reputation, and it's just too small to get away with things like that. But you're so right. It's sort of too coincidental, isn't it? That listening to Greta Thunberg and her saying we have to make changes so fast and immediately. And I remember thinking, we're never going to do it. I'd be big into animal rights and eco. I'd be an eco warrior in my own way, in nice tiny ways. But I remember thinking, we're too far gone. Like, we're not going to change, attitudes of people. And it's funny. I have friends, my best friends, sending me cute little baby pictures of, oh, isn't the baby pig so cute? And then they eat the meat, and I always kind of think, people have such a cognitive dissonance about things. I'm a vegetarian, but I eat fish, and a couple of times a year, I would even eat some free range organic meat. So I'm not preaching, but you're right. Just small ways make such a difference. But also, something you said there reminded me of apparently when they were making the vaccines, they had to sort of work together. Isn't that right?
Yes, they
do.
To
the point where someone could have been responsible for making a breakthrough, but he'd have to, or she would have to, hand over that knowledge to the pool to share it. And imagine that, like, to hand over the glory, because when they worked together, they created the vaccine faster, I believe. That I was amazed by that.
When you work together, I mean, everybody has different things that they can bring to the table, different experiences, different knowledge, different wisdom, and things get done more smoothly and usually more efficiently and more beautifully when people come together. And as you know that, because you've worked with so many, Riverdance, Celtic Woman, all these different groups where you're in these group settings where every player, every individual whether it's the technical crew, production staff, the marketing people, the fellow talent who's on stage with you, the musicians, the singers, the lighting people, all of it has to come together. And every person that's there is there for a purpose and a reason and has great value and contributes to it. And any one of those elements removed, the whole thing falls apart. So it's like a coming together of all of these energies and forces that really makes things a lot more smoother and more efficient, like you just said. You know? You'll drink to that.
Yes, I will.
You'll drink to that.
Not the good stuff, but just water. But
that's it.
Yeah.
So you want to you want to share that song with us, that hymn? Okay. That sounds beautiful. Okay. I think a hymn right about now, with everything going on in the world, Lynn, I think would be really beautiful, very touching for everybody.
All right. So yeah, this one's called "Come With Me Into the Fields." I hope
this is a Hilary hymn.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
The wonderful Lynn Hilary, getting all psyched up.
Yes. All right. The fields are high and summer days are few. Green fields have turned into gold. The time is here for the harvesting, for gathering home into barns. The harvest is plenty, laborers are few. Come with me into the fields. Your arms may grow weary, your shoes will wear thin. Come with me into the fields. The seeds were sown by other hands than yours, nurtured and cared for, they grew. But those who have sown will not harvest them. The reaping will not be their care. The harvest is plenty, laborers are few. Come with me into the fields. Your arms may grow weary, your shoes will wear thin. Come with me into the fields. Come with me into the fields. There you go.
Bravo, bravo. Really, really beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Can get kind of emotional a little bit too when you sing some of these kinds of songs, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, you can do, I guess. Yeah. I had a sniffle there, but
oh, see, I was going with the whole emotion thing. Should have ran with it. Should have ran with it. She's got an emotional sniffle.
Yeah, I should have done
well. You're fantastic, my friend. I love having you here. Christine says great things can happen and be accomplished when we all work together. All words of wisdom, both Jim and Lynn. Thank you, Christine. She's watching, and she's one of our regular Lovity viewers in North Carolina, USA. Angelic, cheers to that. Cheers to that. You've earned that wine. Have a nice big gulp of that. You sang for yourself. Absolutely. Angelic and lovely from Juanita in South Africa. And Leslie Cummings says, nice. Linda Odell says, so much feeling in your voice. I know that tastes good, doesn't it? The first swig is just to lubricate the vocal cords.
Absolutely,
the second gives you that flavor.
Yeah.
so much feeling in
But
your
the
voice.
third.
The third, well, then she starts doing a tap dance for you folks.
Yes. Be careful.
Irish,
Again, don't tempt me.
right, yeah, she'll be doing some of the Irish steps that Riverdance has done.
Yeah.
So much feeling in your voice, so beautiful, from Linda in Florida, and Wozniak also in Florida. Amazing, so beautiful. And beautiful as well. Welcome to the show. Good to have you with us as well. Kathy says, bravo, that was magnificent. Elena, who's watching in Italy, says, thanks, and clap, clap, clap. And It Kiddo, what a cool name. It Kiddo.
Oh,
Do you have absolute pitch?
No, I don't. I
It almost
don't.
seems in a way, because you're so
Yeah. No,
buttery, silky. Your voice is so silky and buttery and spectacular.
Thank you. No,
Yeah.
I would say that I have decent pitching, but I don't have. I think she means a perfect pitch. I definitely don't have that. No.
Celtic Woman Forums is watching. Hey, gang, Celtic Woman Forums. Good to see you here. Always really great when coming from Lynn. So getting some help from the Celtic Woman Forums who are watching on the show. So lovely to hear a hymn so touching as well. Really, really beautiful. I also wanted to show people, there's a couple of other things that you've done that I know are near and dear to you. There's this one here. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was my first album.
Oh.
Yeah, that was. I made that with Don Mescal. He'd made it with me and produced by John Fitzgerald, who's brilliant. We co-wrote the songs on it, and it was great to kind of have his help with I had never really written many songs before, so he helped me with that.
What was that process like, being a songwriter? Yeah, writing, penning the material.
Well, it's funny because my mom would have written a lot of songs when she was younger. She actually wrote a beautiful song for the Eurovision, and we all think it should have won. It was a gorgeous song called Superstar. So she was always writing songs, and it's funny. I remember thinking I couldn't do it, but there's definitely. I love Elizabeth Gilbert, the author, and she talks a lot about creativity and the tricks of the trade. And she has this theory that ideas are already living and that they've come through people. And if you've ever, anyone who's created anything, it'll feel like that's true to them, because when you get an idea, it almost feels like it comes through you when it's a good one. When it's a really good one, you don't feel like you've done it. I find any good lines I've ever written, I think, I didn't write that.
It's like you're a facilitator, a conduit of other energy that's coming through you, and you're just expressing this energy, whatever it may be, that's coming through you, almost like another source greater than yourself is feeding you that energy, right?
Which feels beautiful. That way. Yeah, and it would sort of make you wonder about the whole higher being thing. Even for people who don't believe in God, it would really make you wonder about that, because, and I don't, I still find that my relationship to whatever God is changes daily.
Sure.
So, but you couldn't deny it could be the subconscious brain, it could be, but it doesn't feel like that's where it's from. So for anyone who doesn't believe in God, I'd challenge them to try and write something or create something, and then to say that there's definitely nothing else there. So it's really, she has a brilliant TED talk called The Elusive Creativity, The Elusive Genius, I think. But if you type in Elizabeth Gilbert TED talk, it's such a brilliant TED talk about creativity. And she talks about Tom Waits and how he used to talk to this disembodied spirit of creativity that he would feel would come visit him when it wasn't a good time, and he used to talk to this thing. And it's a nice way to look at creativity, that it's something separate from you, because then, and she makes the great point that if you see your creative efforts as not quite you're all about you, it takes your ego away. And then if it doesn't work, you don't feel so bad, because it's not really your fault. But if it does really well, you can't take all the credit for it, because it's not all you're doing. So you don't get that ego problem. which is a big problem for people when they create great works of art and then they take the credit all to themselves. It'll destroy them. So it's a brilliant TED Talk. It's so good. I watch it a lot, actually.
Yeah, the TED Talks are really incredible. They really, all the different topics too that they cover. I have a couple of friends who have done TED Talks, and they're really, really cool. You can do them on so many different conversations, just about life, and all the different experiences of life. Are you inspired with your music by what you observe in the course of your own life?
Oh yeah, I think so. And I think you can't help but be you can't help but it can't help but filter through, and I it's funny because anytime I was creative in the past to write music, I always found that what would come up was certain type of subject matter, and it was what I was always thinking about, which is funny because, for example, when I made this album Saturn Return, I noticed how there were no love songs. I didn't write any love songs on that album because I was just so unlucky in love. I just didn't have anything that wanted to come out. So what came out was what I always think about, which is what's the meaning of life.
Right, exactly.
And
what's
that's
it all
what
about?
would come
What's
out.
it all about, Alfie?
Yeah, exactly. And
What's it
that's
all about, Alfie?
Yeah, and there was one love song to my sister, actually. That's one on there. But yeah, so it is funny what you go through. It definitely weaves itself into a little a meaning, and then comes out through your art, I'm sure.
Maureen says this has been just the calming COVID relief I needed after a hectic week. She works in healthcare as a nurse, so she's on the front lines on the west coast of our country here. She says, thank you, Jim, for bringing Lynn to us today. And thank you, Lynn, for sharing your beautiful voice and your stories with us. I love that. It's really beautiful. And Gabri says, such a beautiful view, Lynn, as well. I agree. And they also say you write the most beautiful songs. And that's really beautiful to hear as well, to have commentary like that. Thank you for those comments, gang. Our lovely viewers. Another album, too, is this one. And I know somebody mentioned, I think, earlier in the comments that they absolutely love this one. And would there be a sequel to this one? Saturn Return.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was one that I wrote probably a good few years ago now. And look at this, a second Saturn Return starts. Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah, the Saturn Return. So,
Tell us about this album. What was the inspiration for this album for anybody watching who's not familiar with it?
Yeah, the Saturn Return. Oh my God, I could talk about this for hours, but I found turning 30 really difficult. And I remember people would tell me that there was such a thing as a Saturn return, and Saturn goes around the sun once every 30 years, roughly.
Right.
And that every time, when you hit 30, that's quite a hard age for people because they start to really sort of reassess their lives, and it can be a very hard time. And it was for me. I remember just hitting such a... Yeah, it was. And I didn't really know why. Well, like I did actually, but...
you know what I found tough? For me, and maybe, I don't know if it's because maybe I look at it as an ending as opposed to looking towards the beginning. 29 for me, like the 9, the ending of a decade, the sort of the wrapping. I found 29 harder than 30 for me, just because I was so focused on, okay, that's the end of that decade period. But 30 for you once going into that next
well actually they say it's 29 to 31, so it's roughly around that time
is the 2-year window.
So, and then the next one again is hard around 60 will be hard again. So it could have been your Saturn return.
So what were you experiencing it for those saying, well, what's Saturn return? What is that about? It's fascinating.
Yeah, I guess it's like, you kind of take stock of what you've learned so far. And I guess you realize, well, am I actually going in the direction that I want? And if you are, you probably just sail through your Saturn return. But if you're not, and if you decide, actually, I don't like where this is heading, it's a real time of turmoil. And you might shed some friends who weren't doing you any good. You might shed a relationship that wasn't good for you. You might change your job around that time too, because you realize, actually, I'm not happy. And so really that's where you get a chance to take stock and realize, am I going in the right direction? So that's what it feels like.
Were you reassessing some of that at that time?
I guess I was, but I feel like I'm still reassessing.
Well, this, like I was saying, everything we've experienced this last year with the pandemic and all, it's almost like a complete Saturn return situation, because a lot of people they've been reassessing their lives, their careers, their relationships, and they've been saying, gee, have I done everything I wanted to do so far? What's the next chapter in my life? This was sort of like a forced Saturn return, because, everything stopped and everything came to a pause. So a lot of people have been really looking at their lives, looking in the mirror and saying, who is that person? Am I doing the things that fill my heart and soul? Or am I just doing things that feed the world? Have you been doing that? Have you been doing some soul searching during the course of these many months of this pivot that we've been experiencing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm always doing that. So,
me too. I'm always reflective and looking back.
Yeah, absolutely. But actually, on the Saturn Return album, I actually hadn't written any new songs for a good while, except for with Anúna. But I ended up writing another 10 songs in the months of March and April and May. And once I've released the hymns, and then another album after that of sort of Irish music, which is due. I'm going to release those as well. So hopefully in late summer, I'm hoping to get started on those. And there'll be another reassessment of my life. I'm not sure it's any more positive, but maybe the next one after that will be more positive.
Yes, I think you and I need to go on a motivational speaking tour.
Oh, yes.
Enlightening everybody. We're kindred spirits in that way.
I don't have anything to share. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything to share yet. Well, I say in a bit, I'm hoping I have this image of myself as an older lady, and I'll be a hippie, and I'll just know it all then, and young people will come to me for advice, and I'll be a sage old woman. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, more than likely, probably what it is, and my father has always said to me, two things, actually. Jim, you should have gone into comedy. And you were born 30 years or so too late, meaning that I have an old soul. And you probably have an old soul as well, too, the way you think about things and maybe look at life. And I think it's a good thing to have, because it gives you different perspectives on life that go beyond just the current flash of today.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cheryl says, Lynn, I love that you're a deep thinker and listen to you and your views. And what is your favorite song that you wrote?
Yes,
one that speaks to you the most?
Saturn Return. I love that one. I like it. I actually listened to that. I quite like that one because I was playing chords on the guitar, and I came a lovely melody that I really liked. Da 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 da. And that was the basis for it, and it took me 2 years to write the words to it. But I wouldn't write a word until it was just right. So every single word in that song, it would have to be just right. And this amazing string arranger, Liam Bates, did a beautiful job arranging some strings, and the piano on that track as well. Miles Drennan played the piano, and I asked him to think of planets. I said, can you play as if you're swirling around in space and planets are swirling and stars shooting? And when you listen to the piano he did on that, that's exactly what he did. So I love listening to that track, just from the collaborative effort of that. It was really nice.
You're both gentle souls. Thank you, Elena in Italy. And It Kiddo says, put your palm up to the camera. I can tell you if you are an old soul. I guess let's see if we can put our palms.
It's not very bright there, but I have a bit of allergies to washing powder, so my skin's all.
While we're at it, Lynn, why don't we just do a high? Why don't we just do a high five? Here we go. Gentle old souls and creative souls at that. That is so funny. I love this shot too. I don't know if we showed this one. It's a cool shot of you. Hi, I'm Lynn Hilary. May I help you?
Faucet.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lynn. May I help you? Oh, are you just stopping by? Are you coming in for coffee?
Oh God. Yeah, that was the Anúna shot that was taken, and I cut the other girls out of it. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Just a little editing. Just a little editing.
I'm too honest now with this wine. We should, it should be a.
Oh yeah.
I know, no, it was great. But it's just that I needed a solo shot, so I needed a promo shot, so I had to get them in.
You're honest with or without wine, Lynn. That's you. That's the way we are. I do have another cool shot here that we sort of scooped up. I thought I saw it. I said I got to show it because it shows another side of Lynn. It's a beautiful shot. Tell us about this one.
Oh,
isn't that cute? That's cool.
Well, that was earlier this year.
Yeah.
I was again feeling a little bit like I needed a bit of a break. So I went, when the lockdowns kind of lifted a little, I went west to see a friend of mine. She's a brilliant singer, Cara Matthias, and we became really close friends. And she is basically living my dream life out in County Clare, building a house from scratch and living in a caravan and living off the land. And they sing for their supper, and they're just total hippies. And she was with a group of traveling young guys who they were friends with, came traveling through. They're musicians, and they just produced this baby pigeon that they had saved. And he just stayed with us, and we sang songs, and the pigeon would just be sitting in the middle of the table, and we'd all kind of, have our food and our just drinks are in the table and light fires, and the pigeon would just enjoy it with us.
Isn't that beautiful? When you get a chance, a pigeon just comes into your life like that, and just sort of inspires you. And that's a beautiful shot. I saw that shot. I said, that's so really beautiful. Cheryl says she can attest to the 60 that you mentioned, being just at a return sort of moment. I can attest to the 60. Just had my 60th birthday. Reassessing is not easy. So you're sort of reassessing your life. Kiddo says, Lynn is definitely an older soul than you, Jim, but you are also an soul that has been around. I like that. That is cool. Jennifer has an ancient soul as well. What are some of the things in your life that continue to bring you great blessing and joy, Lynn, to want to, still communicate with everybody through your song, through your talent, through your music in such a brilliant and beautiful way, my friend? Well, and actually on food, I will have to have my dinner soon. I have dinner ready for me. So I'll have to love you and leave you soon. But I definitely love meeting like-minded people. I think that's probably one of the best things, really, is meeting people you can connect with. That would probably be my favorite thing. And then you've got things to write about, when you can have connections with people. Because I think I thought I was a lone wolf. I was a lonely kind of reclusive kind of introvert. But I think that's just because I wasn't always wise about choosing people to be around. I probably chose some wrong friends at times, and trying to learn to be better about that. And I'm really lucky now. My family are brilliant. I've just got the most amazing family and lovely friends in my life, and that really, that's where I want to keep going. Really, just trying to keep good supportive people around me now, who people who lift you up rather than push you down, and I know the difference now. I can tell them a mile off,
you can just feel it, people who just are trying
Me
to
too.
squish you.
Suck the energy and the
Oh,
blood,
suckers, yeah.
right? And they don't really care, and they say that they care, and that comes with time and life lived and wisdom, when you realize the people that really matter most in your life. And that might not be like 100 people. That might just be enough you can count on your fingers who are there for you and who are salt of the earth people, loving family and friends. And that's so important, right? When you have that opportunity to realize that, and that comes with time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautifully said, my friend. Now, you said dinner is coming.
My
Same
dinner,
thing here.
I
think we blew through lunch, 3:30. Now this is a foodie crowd too. We did what was supposed to be like a half hour just talking about food. I did a host chat foodie show, and the viewers sent in recipes, and I prepared a meal, and I did this whole food theme show. They're going to want to know, what is Lynn having for dinner tonight?
Well,
the dinner that's made for you by that production assistant.
Well,
you're turning red.
Well, actually, I think it's a seafood chowder.
Very
but I don't know. But that was what it was supposed to be, seafood chowder.
Now it's a stew.
Now it's probably some kind of drink. So, but that's what I think it is. And if it's
sounds really, really
how
good.
I expect, if it's how it was, the last time, it'll be lovely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, and it goes really well with white wine. So,
do you like to cook? Do you like to cook as well?
A little bit. I mean, obviously, I try to eat vegetarian as much as possible.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So I just have fish sometimes, maybe once a week, maybe. But vegetarian other than that, yeah.
When did you become vegetarian? When you're early on, when you were a kid, or?
Yeah, I was 23.
23, yeah.
And I realized that it's the factory farming, really. It's not so much, I don't have a problem with the killing of animals. I get that. That's what we do. I don't mind that we have to kill animals, but I would rather they had a better life first. That's what bothers me. So factory farming, and especially chickens in cages for eggs, that to me is something we can get rid of that tomorrow if we stop buying them. It's not ideal. It's still not great. They're still quite packed in. But if we just stop buying eggs from caged hens, they'll stop making them. It's that simple. I just wish that could happen, because to be a bit hippie about it, I think our global karma includes animals, and I think if there's animal suffering, I think we will suffer. I really believe that. I really do.
No, so I know what you mean. No, yeah, you're a caring soul in that way too, which is also beautiful. And I just want to show you some final comments coming in from our beautiful, lovely viewers who've enjoyed this time with you, as I certainly have, and it's been so beautiful catching up with you, Lynn, and sharing so much about your experiences, your passion, your love for what you do, and for family and friends and life. It's really been a beautiful, brilliant chat. Leslie says this was a great chat. Thanks. You're welcome. And Gary in Iowa, USA, lovely Lynn. Lovely Lynn. You are now our lovely Lynn. This has been brilliant, fantastic, and lovely time with you. Mary Bishop, who is in Florida, USA, she says, wonderful meeting you, Lynn. You are a beautiful person. And fellow says, very likable. Stay as you are, Lynn. It Kiddo says, blessed be to you both. Thank you very much. We do both, Lynn and I. Thank you. Juanita in South Africa. Great conversation. Thank you, Lynn, for sharing your life and lovely music with us. Keep well. Very beautifully said. Jennifer Barry says, thank you, Jim and Lynn, for a good magical show. Really, really love these comments that are coming in here. And Arthur says, the hole is dug up behind the hill. My cabin, the song, Long Way Home, is booked to be played. Very beautiful. And Elena in Italy, thank you for this lovely time spent with Lovity. I agree, gang. You guys are the best. Really, really beautiful. And a couple more coming in here. Have a lovely evening, Lynn. Maureen
It's so
says,
crazy, Tom. He's been a very good supporter of
that is,
Celtic Woman.
so it's Quasi, right? Because he's got CW, Quasi Tom. I love that.
He's been great to us. He's such a lovely guy. Thank you, Tom.
Big fan.
We all love Tom.
Yeah. Does that come back from the Celtic Woman days, or?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I remember I met these two gentlemen. I forgot their names. I met them, I think it was in Hartford, Connecticut. And the two of them are friends, and they've been super fans, I know, of Celtic Woman for the longest time. And I believe went to like every concert possible, crisscrossing the country, not missing a beat. Williams says, thank you for this lovely view of who you are, such a beautiful spirit, and may God watch over both of you. Thank you, Williams. We appreciate that. Beautifully said. And you as well. Blessings to you and your family. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio says, thank you, Lynn, for a very pleasant afternoon conversation. It was great.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening as well. And really, Ann Wozniak, thank you for sharing your time and amazing talents. This has been a wonderful afternoon for me. And Maureen, what a wonderful lovely fest this has been as well. This was a great chat. Thanks. We've chatted. It's been about, and I always say to the guests, how long do you have? And we can just roll, but because it's not an interview, it's really a nice conversation, warm and friendly. About 2 hours and 38 minutes we have chatted, and it doesn't feel like that, does it? All the guests say it never feels like that. No, absolutely. I don't know where the time went, but I haven't got to do this in so long. I don't really get, and I don't particularly like talking about myself, but with you, you're so good at doing this. I always love talking to you, and all the girls always said the same thing about you. So you're just such a joy to talk to, so easy. Well, I appreciate that, my friend. And you're a real delight, and you're a very beautiful person inside and out, and you have a lot to give, and you've given so much already. And I just wish you and the production assistant and and your family and everybody all the continued blessings. And you're welcome back anytime, Lynn. And we don't have to chat this long. It could be shorter. We can chat, however long. But you're just a wonderful blessing, and I'm so honored and happy that we're friends and we've stayed in touch all these years. And I hope you continue to knock us dead with all of your extraordinary talent and your beautiful brilliance. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed your time with me as much as I have with you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And if you still have anything left in that glass, we'll do a final cheers. Exit toast. I've been very, very reserved with it, but now that I'm free, I'll be topping it up. Yeah. Now you'll gulp it down. Sending love. Stay safe, everyone. Christine says, thanks for your time and sharing your talents with us today. This was a deep, meaningful conversation, Lynn. You not only have a beautiful voice, but a beautiful soul, a true lovity. Really enjoy the time with you. Very interesting and natural interview, Lynn and Jim. Thank you. I also drink white wine, so cheers. And warm greetings from Poland, beautiful Poland. Nice to see you in Poland. It was a blast, my friend, and I hope you really enjoyed yourself. I love it. Did. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the seafood chowder. I will. And go stretch those legs. I will. Thanks so much. Take care, Lynn. Be well. Bye-bye. Bye. Wonderful Lynn Hilary gracing our presence here on the Jim Masters Show live. And thank you very much for all these great comments and all of your participation as well. Here on the show, we do like to bring in our viewers, who we call our lovities, as they love to express themselves as well. And it was nice to see you in Poland. Thank you for those great comments. Viewers from literally all around the world joining us. Again, if you joined us late, we shared some wonderful music. She performed live. We also had some videos. And again, maybe this is the first time you've learned about Lynn Hilary. Perhaps maybe you've known of Lynn through Riverdance and Anuna, and as well Celtic Woman and her beautiful solo career as well. perhaps maybe you've learned a little bit more about her now. Appreciate her incredible brilliance as a human being. What I mean by that is she was very open and very expressive about her life, about her passions, about not just the music and what you see on stage, but who she is as a person. And that truly does come out in her music and in everything that she does. She's a wonderful person. She's very warm. Love that picture where she's there with that wonderful bird that just flew in her lap. And again, we had an opportunity to work together professionally as well when on several different projects, but one of them most recently was the Celtic Heart public television special. And she was mentioning the phenomenal time we had afterwards. There's Amir McGurn, the wonderful Irish flautist who was on our show. Check that episode out, folks. That's a really good episode. Amir played several songs on her flute for us. She was wonderful. And there's Lynn and our wonderful friend Elizabeth with us here too. This is behind the scenes up in Maine, USA, with Lynn and myself, and some of the behind the scenes of the filming of that wonderful special presented by our dear friend, mutual friend, Tim Janis. And of course, her years with Celtic Woman as well. She really had some wonderful stories to tell about Saturn Return and how she loves that album. And it really is spectacular. Again, you can check out all of her music through the various groups. Of course, Riverdance, Celtic Woman, Celtic Heart has the DVD and CD out as well. And of course, her solo material. There we are on stage. I'm on the left, and Amir's there. And you see the whole gang. This is up in Maine, which was really, we just had such a good time. So many laughs. It was just a warm group. And we all hated leaving when it wrapped. And we'll be together again, whether, it's socially or professionally. When you have an opportunity to, spend good times with good people. And what I love is, we all met professionally and then have stayed friends personally. And that doesn't always happen in these industries, but we're so blessed to have that happen. She mentioned in this wonderful photo here, which I think was very touching when she saw it. There's Lynn in Riverdance, and she said she was very nervous. And Brian Dunphy, who is another brilliant Irish singer, songwriter, and musician, who's going to be my special guest 1 week from today, February 13th, live at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England. Brian Dunphy is going to be here. There she is with Brian on stage with Riverdance, and you can see where he's really supporting her, and just they've got a wonderful friendship as well. So Brian, don't forget, Brian will be with us on Saturday, next Saturday, the 13th of February, and he's all excited. I've known him for years, as well as Darren Holden through the High Kings. Brilliant individual and performer. So he's here next Saturday. Also, for those of you watching in Ireland, Scotland, England, and elsewhere who just love the Irish artists, on the Jim Masters TV channel on YouTube, you can see our conversations that I've had, brilliant, epic conversations with the one and only Phil Coulter. He was a guest on the show. Sir James Galway and Lady Jean Galway were guests on the show from their beautiful home in Switzerland. Conor McGinty, Damien McGinty, Ryan Kelly, Colin Keegan, Neil Byrne, all wonderful friends, and we've stayed in touch, as well as George Hutton, Roy Buckley, Amir McGoon, Mairead Nesbitt, Chloe Agnew, Orla Fallon, all have been guests. Nathan Carter, just a couple of weeks ago, was a guest on the Jim Masters show live as well, and so many others. So Brian will be with us next week. Darren Holden was also with us a couple of weeks ago. You can see that full conversation on our YouTube channel as well, and really, really brilliant. Speaking of, just wonderful people, I just think it's an opportunity when you really get a chance to celebrate good-hearted people, like all of you that watch too. Like Juanita says, love the episode with Muir, and also been listening to her music ever since. She's wonderful. You can't wait for the episode that is with, I love that. Yeah, that is fantastic. The episode that's coming up, which is with Brian Dunphy. That's going to be really, really cool. And Carla watching in Brazil and South America. Amazing episode. Thank you, Jim, for this wonderful and warm Saturday afternoon. See you next show. And we toast all of you in our Jim denim mug that my mom made years ago. There was a period she was into ceramics, and she made that, and it was just absolutely fantastic. You know, when you get a chance to have loving family. And she also talked a lot about her family as well, which I thought was really, really beautiful, wasn't it? When Lynn was talking about her family and just all the fantastic people that really matter in her life. And that's so very, very important. And so hang on to the dear ones in your life and the loved ones. We talk about a lot of inspiration and positivity on our show as well. And you guys are the best watching all around the world. We have a special treat. We showed this yesterday. It's very short and it's very, very beautiful. When we had Sir James Galway on, and Lady Jean Galway from their beautiful home in Switzerland, of course, you know him as a world-renowned, brilliant producer, musician, songwriter, flautist, one of the world's greatest, legendary career, Sir James Galway. We met at Carnegie Hall when I was emceeing a concert for Tim Janis at American Christmas Carol, and stayed in touch ever since. He was on our show a few weeks back from their beautiful home in Switzerland with his lovely wife, another dear friend, Lady Jean Galway, calls her Jeannie. And we've stayed friends ever since. And you can see that episode on our YouTube channel as well. Some of the guests who have been on our show have recorded video messages and sent them to us expressing why they enjoyed their time on our show, what it meant to them, and how they hope to come back on the show. And I think that's so beautiful. And we thank each and every one of them. And we're still receiving them from guests and from our viewers who are sending in videos to the Jim Master Show Live and sharing with us their expressions of why they enjoy our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We received one from Sir James Galway just 2 days ago, and I'll share it with you right now.
Hello, Jim. I just want to tell you how much pleasure Jeannie and I got out of appearing on your show when it was possible to do that. I hope in the future we'll be able to do it again and take part in a great show.
We thank Sir James Galway for doing that and singing that along, Lady Jean and James. Absolutely beautiful, and they're a blessing as well. And thanks to all of you who watch our show. We've been doing this since April of last year. It's an extension of my professional work in television and radio. People have told me for years to do a show like this. And we really spend, some nice time. We don't rush our guests. And I always ask the guests in advance, how much time do you have? Do you have to be somewhere? Is there somewhere to go? So they can be on the show for as long, as short as they want. And we tend to have conversations that just flow and go without any rush, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jim, for a great show. Leslie Cummings, thank you for tuning in. And Ann Wozniak, thank you, Jim, for another amazing afternoon. Have a wonderful evening. You as well, my friend. It's beautiful having you here. Kathy Short, love the mug. Yeah, isn't this cool? Yeah. My mother made one for all of our family members with all of our names on it. And this was mine. The coffee, fortunately, this time I was smart. I didn't do hot coffee. You know how I always talk about I make coffee, I make tea, and then I get involved in a conversation or the phone rings or I get distracted, something else calls me away, and I end up with cold coffee. Well, this time we did iced coffee. So that way there, I didn't end up with hot coffee that has to be reheated. So we did iced coffee. Thank you, Kathy. And yes, exactly, Leslie. And you love the episode with, again, Emu McGoon on. She's another brilliant artist. And you guys are incredible. Carla says, amazing episode. Thank you, Jim, for the wonderful and warm Saturday afternoon. See you next show. Thank you, Carla, for watching in beautiful Brazil. Thanks, Jim, so much. Nice show. Now you're going to exit stage left and up to the mountain tonight. Jen will be zen. You got buried with a lot of snow. We've got snow coming tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl, the big Super Bowl here in the United States, football. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady, the two very popular and beloved quarterbacks. It's going to be some game. It's going to be some game. So we are not going to be here tomorrow. Usually we're here every single day. We're going to take off tomorrow because we're going to be watching the Super Bowl, and we've got some snacks and family. So it's a family day tomorrow. And then Monday, I have a project, a television project that I'm working on, a TV shoot that I have to do. So our next show, everybody, I know you're going to miss us because I see it on Facebook if we're not on, you guys post. So we're going to be back Tuesday. Tuesday, we are back live. Okay, so we're not here on Sunday tomorrow. Super Bowl Sunday, we won't be here, or Monday, we're family day tomorrow, and then television and radio work calls my attention for Monday. But our next show will be this Tuesday, and I want to let you know we've got an amazing guest. We have a wonderful, brilliant writer and author, Marie Carley. She's all excited, and she's going to be here Tuesday. Our next show will be Tuesday, so join us on Tuesday, and then award-winning Broadway producer Mark Levine is going to be here on Wednesday. Actor Sean Kanan is going to be live from Los Angeles, California. He was in all those soap operas, General Hospital, The Young and the Restless, and so much more. And on Friday, from the very popular, beloved series from the 1970s, this is Cammy Cutler, wonderful actress from The Waltons. Remember on CBS, The Waltons TV series? Good night, John Boy. She's going to be here on Friday of this coming week. So we've got some amazing guests that are joining us all next week, starting with Marie Carley on Tuesday. So again, we won't be here tomorrow. We're off with the family tomorrow. And then Monday, I've been called away with my professional work in television and radio. So we will be here on Tuesday and then throughout every day. We're usually here every day. ICC, International Celtic Choir. Really great interview. Congrats to you both. Thank you very much. You know, I would love to see if we could welcome you guys to the show. Maybe we can have you as guests on the Jim Masters Show live. Yeah, I believe you're in Argentina, right? You can connect with us. As a matter of fact, just want to show everybody that if you have a suggestion for a guest on our show, now we're booked with guests just about every day, all the way through mid-April. Here it is, just the beginning of February, and we have guests joining us from all walks of life and backgrounds just about every day from now until April, which is amazing. I mean, it's a grand problem to have so many people that are coming on the show, that want to come on the show. But if you have a suggestion for a guest, feel free to spread the word about the Jim Masters Show live. There is the email address to reach the show, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Again, if you know somebody or have some ideas of folks you think you would like to see on the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series, there is the email address to reach our show. And we'll give it a look and see, perhaps maybe we'll be able to have the guest on the show. So there's the way to reach the show for potential guests, which is really, really cool. jimmasterstv@gmail.com. And we appreciate all these great comments that are coming in here still, and we're going to get ready to wrap up. Thank you very much, Craig. A very fond aloha, Jim, for a fantastic chat. Thank you. It's my pleasure. This is what our show is like. If you guys have just sampled us for the very first time, we try to make a warm, comfortable, relaxed, fun atmosphere. We all learn something new. We always leave informed, educated, entertained, and feeling good about life when we come together with all of you wonderful viewers around the world and our spectacular guests who come from all different backgrounds. Yes, definitely connect with us. It's again, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. There it is. If you have a potential guest idea or maybe would like to come on the show as well, maybe you have something you do and you'd like to share it with us here on the show, there you go, right there. Love to see if we can have you on the show at some point. More comments coming in. Hey, Scream Queen Army, who's in Northern Ireland, in Comber, Ireland, in the Belfast area. Hello, lovedies. Hope you are well. I got the news this past Wednesday. You're going to be getting your first COVID vaccine on Monday. Fantastic, Chris, in Northern Ireland. That is wonderful. Congratulations. That's very exciting, and that's a real blessing. And thanks for joining us as well. We just had live from Dublin the brilliantly talented Lynn Hilary, who was with us moments ago. Wonderful dear friend. So that's great news for you there in Northern Ireland, my friend. Fantastic. Juanita says, enjoy your nights off, Jim. We'll miss you. See you around, lovedies. Gang, you can all, in addition to YouTube, and I would love it if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, which is the channel you're watching right now. We would love that. As we continue to build our channel, we've had so many people subscribe, and we thank each and every one of you. Keep spreading the word about our show. Tell all your friends and family and colleagues about the Jim Masters Show Live. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jim Masters TV. That's Jim Masters TV. Feel free to follow there, and we'd love to see you on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you can like the Facebook page, we would love it. Some levity, share some levity with our Instagram page, Jim Masters TV, and Twitter as well. And of course, Lynn, you can find all of her music online as well, and all her social media platforms as well. Thank you very much, Juanita. We will see you on Tuesday. Tomorrow is Family Day and the big Super Bowl. And then Monday, I'm called away for my work in television and radio. But we will see you on Tuesday with the wonderful author and writer, Marie Cawley. Jim, enjoy your time away from Levity Hall. See you on Tuesday. Thank you, Mary Bishop. I appreciate it. And we will see you soon as well. And yes, International Celtic Choir, we would love to hear from you. That would be great. Thank you very much, Chris in Northern Ireland. Enjoy your nights off, Jim. Stay safe. I appreciate that. And it's actually early for us here. It's 4 p.m. Eastern right now. And because we are on the East Coast of the United States in the New York area, between New York and Boston. So it's almost dinner time for us. Usually we start our show at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. But this is our show for today. And it was fantastic. Lynn was brilliant, wasn't she? I'm so happy she was able to join us. She normally doesn't really do conversations and interviews, as she mentioned. She doesn't necessarily like talking necessarily about herself. And I really appreciate her words mentioning that she always feels so comfortable when we're together. And I'm so happy to hear that. I hear that from a lot of different people. Somebody else that said something similar to me that I had an opportunity to interview actually on for a national PBS special was Sarah Brightman. And it was a number of years back, and it was for her Symphony in Vienna PBS national concert. And I was asked to co-host and also interview her, and it was beautiful. She's a wonderful talent as well. And she said after the live, and we were live on national television on PBS with that special, and she had said that I made her feel so, welcomed and invited and safe and comfortable. And I really, really appreciate that. Makes me feel good too. Great show. Thanks, Jim. Lynn was lovely. Good night, everyone. Still busy reading Andrew Main's book. He was also a great guest on our show as well. You have a wonderful evening and weekend. Juanita in South Africa. We'll see you on Tuesday. Another wonderful show. Have a great night and Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. Yes, where you are in Florida, I'm sure they're all abuzz with Tampa Bay being one of the teams competing. Gary Troyer in Iowa. Have a good evening, Jim and Lovities. You as well. Gary, thanks for joining us. It's always great when you're here. Till next time, peace, light, and levity to all. I second that emotion. Thank you, Maureen. You be well. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you, Jim, for a great show. Leslie Cummings, thank you for joining us, Leslie. We appreciate that. I always love acknowledging, as many of the viewers as I can. And I like to do that in my professional work too. Acknowledge the folks who are here. I mean, you guys are here with us right now. You took time out of your day to join us. And I think it's a beautiful thing. All of those who join us regularly, I just think it's beautiful. If this is your first time experiencing the Jim Masters Show live, we thank you very much and we welcome you, and we hope you'll join us again. And you can see all the past episodes, over 260 plus episodes, on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Ann Wozniak says, thank you, Jim, for another amazing afternoon. Have a wonderful evening. You as well. It was fun. If you didn't see the beginning of the show with Lynn and I, we were having so much fun. We were talking about hair, and I was talking about how my hair is actually a lot longer than it looks right now because we have it it's in a ponytail in the back. We just, it wasn't so easy. I tell you, when you're doing that, it can hurt. But we just did that for today. You can see it back there. Yeah, I think back there maybe. Because the hair is a lot longer. It's just been like a challenge. I haven't had it cut since March of last year. And it's been kind of cool. I've worn it, in other venues, television, and everybody's saying, I like it. So when Lynn said, oh, I want to see your hair longer. So instead of taking the headphones off, taking it all apart, I showed you guys earlier in this episode a clip from a previous episode of the Jim Masters Show live series where the hair was let loose and it was longer. And she just said, I love it. I love the hair longer and all. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, it's in the beginning of this show. And we had so much fun laughing, and it was really cool. A lot of Irish crack on this episode. Thank you, Jim, for a great show. Thank you. Leslie Ann says, thank you, Jim, for another amazing afternoon. Have a wonderful evening. You as well, Ann. I appreciate that. And you guys are the best. Always warm with your comments, and we love it. And looking forward to watching our friend George Burns, right? You're going to watch him on Antenna TV, George Burns and Gracie Allen. Well, there's George. George had a fantastic time today with all of you. Love it he's watching. This is the legendary comedian, George Burns. Yes, and there he is with a cigar. He had a wonderful time, as he always does with us. And enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you, Kathy in Cleveland. Awesome show today, Mr. Lovely. See you on Tuesday. This was a kind of a cool afternoon, wasn't it, together? Really enjoy the time with all of you, and really beautiful time. You have a wonderful evening as well, Lynn. You enjoy watching George Burns and Gracie Allen tonight on Antenna TV. And the Paul Lind show and some of those others that are on. They bring back a lot of the cool classics. Johnny Carson, of course, who I always admired. Johnny Carson and Dick Cavett and Dick Clark, all the legendary, talk show hosts. And we sort of patterned this show after some of the legends in my industry, in television and radio, who sort of broke the mold. Larry King, who we just lost. And we've lost some major people in the last couple of weeks, the legendary baseball player Hank Aaron, and Cicely Tyson, the brilliant actress, the actor Hal Holbrook, yesterday, legendary actor Christopher Plummer, as well as the wonderfully funny Cloris Leachman, and Larry King, too, as well. So life is short, as they have, and we all should live it. Jim, thanks for always bringing us outstanding shows. Today was a lovely show with Lynn. Enjoy the Super Bowl with family and friends. Wishing you and all lovelies a good day and evening, and spread lovity. And we are working on shirts and mugs. I know you guys want shirts and mugs and all kinds of lovely swag. So because you guys have been asking for that, we are working on all of that. And also our Lovity Cruise. We're looking at possibly going on a Lovity Cruise with our Lovities, our viewers, in 2022. A lot of you have said 2022 would be good. Obviously, this year of 2021, you can't really do anything like that. So we are looking at 2022 to do a Jim Masters Show live Lovely cruise and cruise somewhere together, maybe to a beautiful tropical island, perhaps. Where would be, that actually would be kind of cool. Where would be some places that you'd like to go? We've looked at Bermuda is always beautiful. We've been there twice, but there's a lot of places. We can go to Europe. We can go to the Virgin Islands. There's a lot of places we can go. So we are working on the Lovely Cruise. We're going to keep that, keep you guys posted on that. I know you've been asking about it, so that's coming up as well. Craig says, Jim, may the rose rise up to meet you, the wind be always at your back, and may God keep you in the palm of his hand until we meet again. Beautifully said, Craig. Ghost Rider 556. Love it. And right back at you, my friend. Right back at you. Beautiful words. And yes, Juanita said Christopher Plummer, the legendary actor, passed away yesterday. And good night to Issy, wonderful, beautiful Issy in Barcelona, Spain. Good night. We love you, Issy. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you. Relax. I appreciate that. I shall relax. While Lynn is having her dinner, we're going to be having our dinner as well very soon. Gratitude, salute, and peace. Thank you very much. So we've got South Africa here. We've got Barcelona, Spain here. We've got Carla in Brazil. We've got Craig in Hawaii. Aloha. Love it all. You guys are the best. So I think we've covered everything. Just a few more things that we traditionally do here on the show. We always say, don't forget to smile. Oh, quick reminder again, Brian Dunphy from the High Kings, live from Ireland, will be on February 13th. Join us then. We look forward to that. And don't forget to smile and share the smile with the world, because smiles are the best kind of contagion you could ever have. And love is too. Love and lovity, which we celebrate here on the Jim Master Show Live. Don't forget to find your Zen place. Mine, of course, is always with loving family and friends. That's my ultimate Zen place. I also love writing and cycling, tennis, and walking the ocean, swimming the ocean, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing the ocean. I live along the coast here in the northeastern United States. So I grew up near the ocean. I grew up near the Atlantic Ocean. So you have to drag me away from the ocean. I love the ocean. Jen Barry in Allentown, Pennsylvania. She says she's a mountain girl. She's up there in the mountains. She's headed to the mountain right now, she said, one of our great lovely viewers. I love the mountains too, but I really do love the ocean. And that is me on the Atlantic there. I also love, of course, my wonderful career in television, radio, stage, multimedia, on camera, on air, and behind the scenes in the various shows and networks, TV stations, radio stations, production companies I've had an opportunity to work with over the years as well. So always enjoying my work, as our very special guest, Lynn Hilary, loves her work as well. And she gives back in such a beautiful and brilliant way. And that's so important, to give back as well. And I do believe in that. I've worked with a lot of charities, and I just try to give back whenever I can. I think we all should. And don't forget to love yourself and love one another. That's very, very important. And to breathe from the diaphragm, and don't forget to relax. Try to relax. Maybe we should even have a moment of that right now before we go, right? Just have like an aha Zen moment. Just everybody just sort of breathe deeply and just relax. Take just one quick minute out of your day. This might be the only minute you've got to do it. Maybe you're very busy, but take the 1 minute with us here on the Jim Master Show Live to just breathe deeply. When you take a deep breath from the diaphragm, it just really invigorates everything. You know, a lot of times we're breathing very shallow and we're hyperventilating because we're rushing around with life, and we're anxious and worried and overthinking. And we all tend to do that from time to time. But when you take a moment just to breathe and to reflect And Lynn mentioned being a very reflective person. I tend to be as well, always looking forward, but also paying homage to the past and the meaning of the past, which can be quite beautiful as well. So breathe and take a quick moment for yourself, with all of us. Love at ease. It's nice when you hear peace and quiet, right? And just yourself, but yet all of us are here together. We're not in the same room, but it's like we are when we come together on the Jim Masters Show Live. It's as if we are all together in the same room. We are through technology, and I think we are in spirit. We are in spirit. Boy, have we created something very special on the Jim Masters Show Live. I've done so many different things in my career, as Lynn has as well and continues to do. But boy, am I having a lot of fun with this show that we've created here, our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, and with all of you. Beautifully said. We will see you later as well. Don't forget to breathe, and don't forget to have some peace and tranquility in your life. You know, the minute you step outside, it's a little crazy out there these days, right? So we come together here with a variety of different things. Every show is something different that we do on the Jim Masters Show Live. Entertainment, information, education, laughs. It's a variety show. It's a talk show. It's entertainment. It's lifestyle segments. It's everything. It's whatever we want it to be, really. And it's been fine-tuned as we've gone along. It's been tweaked. And it's just continuing to grow by leaps and bounds. It's a very special place we've created here. Continue to spread the word. Peace and tranquility. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Mary. And thank you, Kathleen. All of you. Isigari, Willie. That's perfect. If you nearly fell asleep, Chris, in Northern Ireland, then just do it. Just, when you breathe from the diaphragm, it's incredible. Performers, singers, performers know that it's really important to do that as well. Kathleen Walker in New York City says, even though we can't get together, you are always in my heart and my prayers. That's beautiful, as you are in mine, my incredible friend, Kathleen Walker. I appreciate those words. Loveday Hall is our sane place. I like that. I like that. I might have to work that into some branding. Loveday Hall is our sane place. I often say the Jim Masters Show Live is where Loveday is in the air and on the air, or on the air and in the air. Spread the Loveday. Good times, Amy. Thank you very much. You as well. You've got snow where you are there in the Netherlands, huh? We've got some, I think, 4 to 8 inches. We still have a lot of snow outside from the 1.5 feet we had last week here. And now we've got another 4 to 8 inches coming tomorrow. And Maureen agrees with what Kathleen said. I appreciate that. And Linda agrees with what Juanita said, which was Loveday Hall is our sane place. And Kathleen, thank you for those beautiful words. Well, gang, parting is such sweet sorrow. So we won't look at it that way. We'll just look at it like we will all be here ready for more action coming on Tuesday. And I gotta get another chair. This one here, I keep shifting in the chair. I'm gonna have to get some big, how about I get some big like king chair or something? I don't want to block all of this beauty of our set here with a big chair. That's why I have a smaller chair. But I think I need another chair that this chair doesn't make any noise. Some of our guests, it's been very funny. Some of the guests have been in chairs that are creaking and squeaking. And I think the other night we had a guest that was on, and you guys were concerned that their chair was going to collapse because it was creaking as they were moving. This chair doesn't make any sound, but I do have to manipulate a lot in the chair. So we're going to have to get a nice, big, comfy chair that doesn't block the background. Your friends are here. There's Silver, who we got when we were on a television shoot in Europe. There's Jimmy. And there's Gilligan from Gilligan's Island, the TV show. And of course, George is here. And Jeannie, can you see the Jeannie bottle back there? There's the I Dream of Jeannie bottle right there. There you go. And that's a candle. And there's those tulips from Holland. And this is a statue, a bronze statue of a saxophone player. This is I collect things like this, and that is this right here looks like it's part of that, right? No, that's actually a separate thing, and that's a bronze, and you can see the saxophone right there. And those are some of the awards in my television industry there, and the guitar and all the other things there. But the tulips are right there. See them? There they are. There are the Dutch tulips right there, all on our set. Some of these one, and there is, I think, is it Carla in Brazil who loves the crystal turtle. She spotted that once. She says, "Oh, the crystal turtle, I see it." So there's the crystal turtle right there next to Gilligan. Yeah, there's the crystal turtle. And I know some of you ask about some of the things on the set. And I see those tulips. Yes, they are there. Absolutely. And so, gang, we're going to wrap up. We love all of you. We thank all of you. It's a pleasure having you here. And so many of you are still watching right now, and I really appreciate that. And those of you who didn't catch this show live and you're watching it in the archives, you're watching it later on demand, thank you for tuning in as well. Whether you watch our series live or you're watching it later on demand on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, we sincerely thank you for being a part of our show and allowing us to be a part of your life on the Jim Masters Show Live. So we're going to wrap up. Time for some din-din. You guys go stretch your legs. As I said to the guests, go stretch your legs. Go enjoy. And we shall see you on Tuesday, okay? So you enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jim Masters TV, but we will be gathering again here at Levity Hall on Tuesday as well, and then straight out with guests every day. It's going to be amazing. So I toast all of you again. Thank you for joining us. And this is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, we'll be back on Tuesday. Once again, we thank our very, very special guest and dear friend, the incomparable Irish singer, songwriter, musician, Lynn Hilary. She was wonderful to have on the show, and it's great to have all of you. Our goodbyes take forever, but they're worth it, aren't they? We don't say goodbyes. We say, see you later. Sayonara. Cheers. Auf Wiedersehen. Thank you, Risigari. Have a great day. Lovely hugs to all. Thank you, Kathleen. You as well. You as well. You guys take care. All right. We will see you on Tuesday, gang, okay? You be well. Stay safe. Keep smiling. If you need a pick-me-up, just watch one of our past episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live. We'll see you on my Facebook page and Instagram and Twitter, and then we'll be back on Tuesday. Take care, Linda. We'll watch repeats and miss you for 2 days, LOL. But we will be back. And you enjoy watching the re-airs of our shows. And night all from Juanita. And thanks, Isigari in Barcelona, Spain. We will miss you. But we're back on Tuesday. We're just not here Sunday and Monday, but we are back on Tuesday. Family Day tomorrow and the Super Bowl. And then Monday, I'm called away for my professional work in television and radio, which is going to take all day. And then we'll be back Tuesday. And it'll be wonderful. All right. You take care. You be well. Sending you lovity wherever you are around the world from the Jim Masters Show Live. Take care, gang. You're the very best. Love you all. Bye-bye.